It's Media Day 2025. Since last April, the Suns have a new GM, a new coach, 11 new players, and the construction of a brand new identity here in downtown Phoenix. Luckily, we've kept the legend.
Oh,
that's right. Steve Nash now is our senior advisor.
It's starting already, man. You are starting already.
I was up last night. I'm like, okay, how do I needle TC right off the top? I said, the legend is back, and he is. Steve Nash, baby.
Some things never change.
Nope.
Appreciate
we
it.
got to stay consistent, man. This is like year 47 for us.
Oh, it is. It is. 11 new players. You just said that. I'm like, one, two. That's a lot.
Yeah, well, some are going to be playing in the G League. Some are on two-way contracts.
And some are just for training camp, but yeah.
But there is definitely a new identity, new faces on this team. I mean, so many new storylines to talk about. We'll start with the GM, Brian Gregory, and the head coach, Jordan Ott. I mean, this is their time to prove exactly what they want, the foundation that they want to lay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not household names. I mean, came in here, obviously people who knew them and have worked with them in the past say they're tremendous. We'll find out. You know, and you've met with them more than I have. I've been kind of hiding up on the mountain a little bit, but good people.
Not returning my texts. How about the new backcourt for the Suns? When you've got Jalen Green paired with Devin Booker, we're going to talk to everybody, including Devin Booker, the GM, the coach, the players. We're going to have a long list of interviews during the next couple of hours, but I want to hear your initial reaction to Jalen Green starting in the backcourt with Devin Booker. This is groundbreaking. TC's been up on the mountain. Nobody's heard your opinion on this.
Well, my opinion is this is one of the most athletic, fun-to-watch players there is in the entire NBA, and when you talk about Jalen Green and what he's capable of doing. His shooting percentage hasn't been good. It's getting better. His playmaking hasn't been great. It's getting better. So it'll be fun to watch these two together. I think they will complement each other extremely well.
And then we're looking at the graphic, the opening graphic, and you see the picture.
I had to look away.
I had to look away. I can't believe Dillon Brooks was on that graphic. So Dillon the villain, who I think can become Devin Booker's bodyguard instead of his nemesis.
Well, he's going to be a nemesis to everybody on other teams.
Well, on other teams,
when you see him and he's just staring at you and he's not making – I mean, some of the things he does, I'm like, dude, just look away. Just look away because he's one of a kind. There's no question about it.
Well, you got Draymond. They're kind of –
well,
they're both the same kind.
Well, yeah. You took me off course there.
Sorry about that.
But, he's going to be in somebody's face all the time. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to, attract attention, if you will, or go get attention from other people, so they really can't focus on what they want to do. He will be vital here with this team. I mean, this team now, not only with just Dillon, but the defensive presence with the bigs, with the swings. I mean, it's going to be really fun to see a Phoenix Suns team getting big stops when they need them.
And I can't wait to hear from number one. Well, that'll be Devin Booker. But number one is Mat Ishbia here today on Suns Media Day 2025.
All right, how's everybody doing? Good? Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate it. First off, before we get into the Sun stuff, hopefully you guys watched the Mercury playing well. Good stuff to see them play tough and never give up. That was a heck of a game last night. So excited about that. Hopefully you guys will be there Friday night, game 3. So it'll be great. So thanks for being here for the Suns. So a couple things. I'll take some questions. That's probably what you guys want to do anyways. But first, just opening, real excited about the season coming up. Excited about the things that we've done here. As you guys know, I believe my job as the owner is 4 big parts, and I think we're doing a good job on all of them right now. Trying to set the right culture and organizational. Obviously, we build a great headquarters, doing great things with our team members, trying to make it the best franchise in the NBA and WNBA for our team members, but also for our fans and players. And so I think we're doing a great job with that. On the community side, we always spend time on the community. The NBA All-Star Game's coming next year, so we're excited about that. But also the Suns and Mercury Foundation. Hopefully you guys see some of the things we're doing in the community, really making an impact. And so very excited about those things and just continue to do the right things. The big one I spent a lot of time on, obviously the fans. Obviously I know the media deal got announced recently, but free TV for the fans, the concession prices, even letting the fans in early. We spend a lot of time on the fan engagement, and I think we're doing a good job with that. And at the same time, we're always trying to find new ways to engage with the fans in a positive way. And then the fourth bucket, which is winning, right? We want to win, and I know that's what 99% of us want to talk about today, which we'll spend our time on. Is like I told you after last season, it was very disappointing. Disappointing season, wasn't fun to watch. I'm with you guys. I told you it'd be a lot of changes. We made a lot of changes from the front office to the coaching staff to the players. but more importantly, we set the right identity and the vision and the culture. And so it starts with me, and I told you I took the blame that when I bought the team, I didn't come in and set the right identity and culture on the men's basketball side. On the women's basketball side, we did that. And you're seeing some of the results a couple years later. On the business side, we did that. You're seeing some of the results, whether we're #1 in social media or we're top 5 in sponsorships. We did like a lot of things that maybe you see and maybe you don't see. We've done a lot of things that way. But on the men's basketball side, we didn't do that. And now we have. And so we have set the culture, we've set the tone, we have an identity here in Phoenix now, and it's being lived out. And we made some changes in the front office. We got a great GM, we got a great coach, we got great players, and we feel like it's the type of team that our fans are gonna be proud of, the media will be proud of, and we're gonna enjoy watching. It's gonna be a different feel this year, and we're really excited about it. So I feel great about all 4 of those buckets, from a culture perspective, to fan engagement, to community, to winning. And, are we gonna win 82 games? Probably not gonna win 82 games, but I feel really good about that. You're gonna be proud of this team, you're gonna enjoy watching this team, and we're gonna continue to get better, and hopefully you'll feel the identity, the vision, the culture that we set, and you're gonna feel it as fans and as media as well. And so I'm excited about this season, and it's been a long summer, too long of a summer, right? Waiting for the season to start, so we're glad we're here. So I'll pause and take some questions. I know you guys wanna ask about a bunch of different things, but I figured I'd just give a quick opening statement.
Shane, we can start with Shane Young.
Matt, Shane Young with Forbes. You kind of mentioned it, but since you became team governor, you've launched a lot of those fan-first initiatives. You mentioned the TV deal, but also the arena concepts as well. Just how important is that for you to not get complacent and continue setting that standard?
Yeah, so like I said, those are the 4 pillars I talk about. And fans is probably, I can't say it's the most important, they're all extremely important, but fans is so important. And so how do we do the right thing by the fans? And it's not just, the TV deal, which is, I think it's a huge thing. If you can't be a fan of the team if you don't watch the games. And so making it, we only have 17,000 seats here. So how do we make it so more people watch? So I think that, along with the cheaper concession prices, along with different clubs, as you're referencing, throughout the arena, at different price points for all different people, whether, and so we want to make it so it's very fan friendly, but there's, like I said, little things where we let the fans in 2 hours early instead of 90 minutes at other stadiums. We want the fans to come watch the warm-ups and be a part of it and do things. And so fan focus is the game. If we don't have any fans, like, what are we doing this for? And it's their team. Like everyone says, I'm the governor, I'm the owner, but it's really the community's team. I serve them, I serve the fans. And so making things great for the fans is my job. I think we do a very, very good job of it, but at the same time, as your point, can we do better? Absolutely. We're always thinking of different ways. And so I love ideas. People email me, text me, tweet me, anything they do to get me ideas, and I love it, and that's a lot of stuff we've implemented. And so I'm excited about the stuff we've done, and even more excited about there's more stuff to come to continue to make this the most fan-friendly organization in all sports. Thank you.
Hey, Matt. Mark McClune, Arizona's Family Sports, right here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, when it comes to the TV deal, and we are the home of the
Right.
Sons and the Mercury here in Arizona's Family, what went into the decision to extend it on free over-the-air TV, and what's been the reaction around the NBA from other owners?
Well, I think the reaction's been, curiosity. They're all asking, like, how are you doing this, and how is it working, and what's your perspective? And I think the hard part for any business, if and people think the Suns and Mercury are a business. I don't look at it like a business. I look at it as like it's something fun. It's the community's team, and it's my job to hopefully lead it in the right direction. But the way I look at it from a business perspective is you do right by your fans, you do right by your customers, and good things always happen. I don't know how it's, and I told one of the owners the other day since this came out, he's like, how does it make money, or how are you gonna ever make money from it? I said, I really don't know. The way I think about it is this: you do right by the fans, you take care of them, you make it entertaining, you put great announcers on there, you make it fun, you make it a great place, accessible, and then who knows what happens? Maybe more jersey sales happen, more ticket sales, maybe more fans in 20 years. Who knows what it will do? Like I said, we're #1 in social media. Is that because of that? I don't know, but I just know it's the right thing to do. And so I'm just proud. And so it's not a financial decision. Yeah, money follows success is how my business career has always been. Do the right thing, win, money will follow. Don't focus on money, focus on people. And so we do that with the fans, but it really is a simple decision. It's like I want to watch my team, and if you can't afford to watch it or it's not accessible, you have to go click around to find it. It's on AZ Family 3. Watch the games, enjoy it. The Suns, the Mercury, even the Valley Suns. I love it, and we appreciate the partnership with you guys there because we need someone to be able to put it over there, right? I don't own a TV station, but I'm glad that you guys do and can put it out there. And Gray Media has been great with us. Thank you.
Richard.
Richard Sines, Fox 10. Good to see you.
Hey there. How are you?
Good. You talked about, making changes. You've made quite a bit of changes. Obviously, the roster's gotten younger, and then you hire a young head coach in Jordan Ott who seems to do well with young talent. How excited are you to see what he does with this roster?
Yeah, no, so, Jordan Ott's been great so far since he hired on. Of course, between him and Brian Gregory, the front office, the coaching staff, I'm extremely happy with where they're at. We have a different type of roster this year. We have an ascending roster. We have young players that are not to the level that they're going to be. And you have to have a great coach that puts them in the right positions, gets the best out of them, coaches them up, pushes them to be the best version of themselves. And so I'm very excited about what Jordan's done so far, but more excited about what's coming going forward, right? This is the beginning of a process, right? At any time, it's like, we basically, after the last season, we said, hey, that old stuff, what we didn't work. Let's get it done the right way. Let's build identity. Let's get alignment across the board. Let's be on the same page of what we're going to be doing from the front office to the coaching staff, scouts, to the massage therapists, to the medical staff. Everyone's got to be on the same page, and then we go. And Jordan Ott's a huge part of that, and he's leading the players and leading the coaches there, and I'm really excited what he's done so far, and really excited to see what he does for years to come here. Thank you.
Matt, Greg Esposito with PHNX over here. Appreciate your time today, but I know this is about excitement on basketball, but off the court, there have been reported lawsuits that are going on. I was interested in your thoughts on that and the overall culture that you're building here.
Yeah, so obviously I saw there's lawsuits and people like to report on lawsuits. As you guys know, anyone can file a lawsuit on any day they want, for any reason they want. I could file a lawsuit for that question, right? But but the truth is, you actually got to win a lawsuit. And where I'm different than most successful people or people that you say that have a lot of money is we don't settle. So if we don't do anything wrong, I'm not paying someone. And if their threat is they're going to go to the media and write a lawsuit, have fun, cool, write it. I hope you guys all report on how many lawsuits we actually lose, because we ain't lost one of them, and we're not going to lose any of them, to be honest, because they're ridiculous. But with that being said, you got to follow. When we do the right thing, that's why I tell my team, I go, listen, if we do something wrong, take care of that person. If I do something wrong, we always treat them well. We pay them. We do if someone does something wrong, we can't have that person in our organization if they do the wrong thing to someone. But that's not the case in any of these situations. It's just people trying to get a money grab, and they think that I'm just going to pay out. But I'm not afraid of the press writing a story about it, right? Besides that question, I'll deal with it once a year. Okay, you wrote a question about it. But like I said, report when we win them all. Actually, in my mortgage company, a couple years ago, we did a thing called All In, if you follow mortgage media at all, it was Ishbia's wrong, UWM is going to get sued, and we got about 5, 6, 7 lawsuits. Fast forward 4 years, we won every single one of them. I said, why isn't that on the front page of the Mortgage News that we won those? That's just on the back page when you win them. So the way I look at it is, I'm not going to ever settle with anyone. You can't come and leverage me or leverage the Phoenix Suns to settle. And if your threat is, I'm going to file a lawsuit, I don't care. If we do something wrong, we own up to it. We didn't do anything wrong. File a lawsuit, let the courts play it out, have fun with it, enjoy yourselves. Doesn't bother me at all. Like I said, besides a question every once in a while, and anyone can file a lawsuit at any time for any reason they want, and it's got nothing to do with the truth. They just write a lawsuit. But thank you, I appreciate the question. You're just teasing me, I won't sue you for that one.
Doug.
Hi, Matt. Doug Haller with The Athletic. Good to see you. You announced recently that Steve Nash is going to be brought in a senior advisory role. Can you kind of explain what that relation will be and what you expect from it? Yeah, so a couple parts. First off, I love past players coming back and being around our organization. We got some of them here actually in the back, which we love having them around. And every year, the first game of the year, I bring I invite them all. Anybody who played 1 year or 20 years for the Suns, come back to the opening game. I bring them out here, put them in a suite, have some fun. I think they're even going golfing this year. So I love bringing people back. That's how you create the right culture and organization for the long term. With that being said, Steve Nash is the identity of exactly the type of thing that we've said we want: grit, toughness, a winning mentality. He's just an all-around winner. And I've become friends with him. I know Brian Gregory has built a good relationship with him. I know Coach Ott used to coach with him in Brooklyn. So they have a great relationship. And so, having him around the coaches, the front office, me, the players, how could you say no to that? How would you not want that? And so very lucky that Steve wants to do that and be part of it and be around, and really happy to have Steve around in as much capacity as he wants to be here, because there's, every one of us can learn from him anytime you talk to him. And I've talked to him for years since I bought the team and built a good relationship and learned a lot. And I look forward to learning more and all of us learning more. So very happy about Steve joining, and
he'll make a positive contribution to our organization for years to come, hopefully.
Kellen?
Thank you.
Matt, Kellen Olson, Arizona Sports. Good to see you. To follow up on Greg's question, I was just curious with where your mindset is at with the goals that you set 2.5 years ago for the organization and making it a better place to work, and at least the perception being out there with these lawsuits, and the story as well from Baxter Holmes yesterday reporting that employees are like required to sign something in order to like not be able to sue the team. Just your thoughts on that story, and then again the perception that this creates for the organization.
Yeah, so I don't really spend too much time worrying about perceptions. The Baxter Holmes story, someone just showed it to me this morning. I don't even pay attention to that stuff. But, I mean, most big companies have a clause in employment contracts about arbitration, and not like that's, check any Fortune 500 company, check most NBA teams. I mean, I don't even know what he's talking about. But whatever he wrote, it's fine. But the truth is, I'm not worried about perception. I'm focused on reality. The reality is, go talk to our team members. Go ask some people, hey, how is it in Phoenix? What are the changes that happened since the new ownership came in? The new leadership's been in place, and we made a lot of changes. Like I like to talk about when I bought the team, day one, we made a lot of change on the business side culturally. I talked about that. We had to make a lot of changes. There's a new CEO. Josh has done a great job. There's new leadership throughout the whole organization, but also team leads, not just the highest level, all throughout the organization. We made a lot of changes there, and we've set the tone of what kind of culture and what kind of beliefs we have. That's gone very, very well, and you're seeing some results on the business side. But like I said, just because of a random lawsuit, like anyone can write a lawsuit anytime. It has nothing to do with reality. And so, but because we're the Phoenix Suns, people like to write the story, and because of maybe the past, they like to try to tie it into it. It's just silly to me. So the reality is, it's an amazing place to work. We want to be the best franchise in the NBA and WNBA from not only culture, but I also talk about community, fans, and winning. And culture is a big part of it. I led with that when I bought the team. We made a bunch of changes there. By the way, in the Mercury, we made a bunch of changes day one too. And you're seeing that 2.5 years later, some of the successes we've had. We were the worst team in the WNBA then. Front office changed completely. Head coaching changed completely. Roster changed completely. And now we're starting to see some of the results. The NBA team, the men's team, is the one that we kind of let sit. And we try to infuse some money and see some success and let it go. So I didn't have what do you guys like to say, the new owner syndrome? I didn't want to get too, so we added money and and it didn't work. So guess what? We're starting day one. We did that after the summer, after we saw 2 years of that disappointment we saw. It's different now. We made a bunch of changes, and we're going to be building the vision, the identity, the culture, and the success is going to be building the Phoenix Suns basketball. So I look at it as those three parts: business, women's, and men's basketball. We got 2 of the 3 right so far, and you're seeing the transformation to the third one, the men's basketball, right now. But from the perception part, like I said, the article, I don't really pay too much attention to it. Like I said, if I had to pay too much attention, I'd probably beat myself up all day. But I know we do the right thing, and if we don't do the right thing, I promise you this: we take care of them. I care. I want to make sure everyone's happy. I want to make sure the community's happy, the people are happy. We're not perfect. I promise you, we've made mistakes, but some of those things are silly, and so people like just to write negative things, and and I got to deal with that sometimes. But thank you.
Brendan, do you have the mic?
Brendan Mouse, Suns on SI. Good to see you, Matt.
How are you?
You talked a lot about this identity. How have you already seen the players kind of buy into that? And are there any specific players that have stood out to you so far when you talk about this identity?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll let Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott talk a little bit about this summer and some of the things they've seen, but definitely the identity and the vision and what we're talking about, just the type of players that we have and also the expectations we have of them. We're big on player development and getting better every single day, outworking everybody. I've never been successful in life without putting in more work. And guess what? Our GM does, our coach does, our coaching staff, our front office, they're gonna put more, and so now our players are too. Everyone's putting in more work to be better. And getting better every day is something I really believe in. And so that's some of the identity and vision that we're talking about, but also on the court, you're gonna see some stuff, right? And this is not just on the court, there's off the court stuff like high-fiving fans when you walk off the court, throwing your wristband to someone, doing little things that I believe is the right thing to do. We're gonna do that in Phoenix. I don't care if the rest of the NBA doesn't. Phoenix Suns and the Mercury, we're gonna do things a little differently. And I think it's better, it's the right way, but that's how we're gonna do it. And then on the court stuff, we're gonna be great teammates. We're gonna stick up for our players. We're gonna stick up for each other. We're gonna cheer our guys on. There can be some things that maybe is a little not the way the NBA does it, but I don't really care because the way the NBA does it doesn't have to be the way we do it. We're gonna do it the way we believe is best, and I really think there's a alignment from Brian Gregory to Jordan Ott to the players, and all the way up to me as well. that we're on the same page with that. And I think you'll see that, and they can speak to it when you talk to them as well about stuff they've seen. But hopefully you'll feel it and understand it even better after a year of it. But it's not going to be perfect. So let's be clear. Like day one, game one on October 22nd, like, oh, this is perfect. Like they play with amazing grit and toughness and everything's perfect. Like, no. It's a process. It's a process. Just like the women's team, it took a couple years. It's a process to build it. But the type of players, the type of coaches, the type of people we have in our organization are all going to be aligned with this type of vision. And hopefully the results will follow.
Brendan again, different Brendan.
Matt here, Brendan Clean, Phoenix New Times.
Hey there.
Sticking with that big picture, what are your expectations for the team this season, and what would you say to fans wondering where to set theirs?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So first off, the most important thing is we got to enjoy watching the team again, right? We got to have fun watching this team, a team that the fans are going to be proud of. And so first and foremost, like what we've done the last couple of years has not been good enough. And I took the blame. I said, hey, that's on me. Going forward, it's got to be a team that you're proud of. Like, are you going to say, are we going to win 82 games? I don't have a game total that we're going to win, but I do think the expectations are a team that we're proud of, a team that plays hard, a team that competes, and a team that's getting better, and it's fun to watch because you're going to be proud of how we build and get better every year so that we compete for championships for years to come. And so how do we do that? It starts with every single day, every single practice. The first practice tomorrow morning, like how do we get that built the right way? And so my expectations are, I hope that we win more games than we won last year, but the truth is, it's not going to be measured in wins and losses this year. But it is going to be measured in success, and how are we successful, and how do you guys view? And I guess I'll ask you the question after the year is like, do you think that was a successful year from where we came from last year to this year? I promise to be more successful than last year. And like I said, in all aspects of it, whether it's wins, losses, I'm not focusing on that exactly, but I am focusing on doing the right thing, building the right organization, and making sure we're going to be successful going forward from a perspective of identity, vision, culture, and something the fans will be proud of. And I think that you're going to see that, and that will turn into wins, and then eventually turns into championships.
Okay. Cam?
Good to see you, Cameron Cox, 12 News. How thankful are you kind of to go through this process this offseason with Devin and his kind of commitment to this team and this city, and then now that he's kind of the guy once again on this team, always been, but solo now, in a sense. What do you expect from him this year?
Yeah, well, Devin Booker is the franchise player. He's one of the greatest Suns of all time, as we all know. He's been here his whole career, and we obviously signed an extension to try to keep him here for his whole career. The best part about Devin is he wants to be here just like we want him here. And that's what a great marriage looks like, is everyone wants to be in it together. We're on the same team. We're completely aligned with what we believe and how we want to build this. And he's the guy. He's a franchise player. To compete for championships, you have to have a top 10, top 15 player in the NBA, and Devin Booker is that. And hopefully Devin Booker can even step up even more because he's that kind of guy. It's his team. It's very clear. There's no question about it. I don't know if ever, but anymore, for sure. And I'm really excited about Devin. Devin's an ultimate winner, and he's going to show everyone that this year. But he's leading. He's working his butt off. He's one of the best players in the NBA, and I'm super excited to see him succeed this year and for years to come. Like, if I said this a couple years ago. I'm a lucky guy to own a team and be the leader of a team that has Devin Booker, like as a franchise. Like everyone's trying to find, I got a 28-year-old, I know he turns 29 in October, but a 28-year-old that we franchise player, all-time leading scorer for the Phoenix Suns that is our cornerstone. He wants to be here. We want him here. The fans love him. He's everything to the community out there. Like, how can we not have Devin Booker here? And so I'm very excited to have him and excited for the season to see him really play in an amazing way with new coaching staff and new team.
This is our last question. Dwayne?
Yes, Matt. Just looking at, you talked about what you've done and the things you've put together, but I want to address moving forward, okay? The things you've done now, because you talked like 2.5 years back about the Mercury and where they are now. What you've done with the Suns now, where do you see 2 to 3 years from now?
Yeah, well, I hope that you see a lot of things that you're seeing with the Mercury. Right? I hope and by the way, the Mercury aren't perfect either. Who knows they could lose the next 2 games. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they win the next 2. But it's not about only wins and losses. What I want to do is build the identity and culture and organization that, 1, fans are proud of. 2, the organization gets behind, the media gets behind, everyone's behind this organization and the team. I want to make this the best franchise in the NBA and the best franchise in the WNBA. And that's what we want to do. And it comes from culture, community, fans, and winning. You can't do the first 3 and not win. So we got to get to the winning part, right? And so I think over the next 2-3 years, you're going to start to see a team that looks really connected with a vision, with an identity that really stands out to you and to everyone else that watches it. It's like, that's Phoenix Suns basketball. That's the Suns way. I get get what they're about now. I know what Matt was talking about a couple of years, and then I'll know we're on our way to success. Does that mean we're hanging a banner next year and the year after? Back to it's all coming. And like I told you guys before, I'm going to own the team for 50 years. We have to get this right. We're starting now. I made a mistake the first 2.5 years by not setting it, but we have set it now. And now I'll take 100% accountability of, is it being done the right way? And it's not going to be a straight shot like this. Like, we're going to be, how do we get there? We're going to go through some downs and some ups, and there's going to be some stuff I mess up with, and our front office mess up, and our coach and our players. But over the next 2-3 years, I think you're going to be really proud to watch this team. And let's be clear, like, winning is not winning games. Over time, we talk about championships, right? That's what we want to do. The Phoenix Suns have never won one, and that's extremely clear that that's the goal. But it doesn't mean it's the goal every day. Like, it's like, how do we build to that? And it started, in April or May, whenever we lost the last game, and now we're going forward.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate you being here.
We'll
Thanks.
have Brian Gregory up in just one moment. One moment. That's awesome. Ready? Okay, all good. Thank you, Janelle.
How's everybody doing? Good? All right. Like Matt, I'll just say a couple opening remarks and then open it up for questions. Excited to start training camp tomorrow, and excited, obviously, to get this season underway. And as Matt said, most important thing, put a team on the court that the fans can be proud of and play the game the right way. In the offseason, a couple key things that we have to take care of. Number one is building the roster. And I talked about it. I thought we had a great draft, made some trades that brought in some high-level players that fit what we're trying to get done, and also through the free agency. So I think we're in a good place with that. The second thing that's kind of behind the scenes that's really critical in the offseason is to get organized. And in that I mean with your human performance, with your analytics, with your medical, with your all the different things, the scouting, the evaluation, because those key areas have to be in place and ready to support our players, to give our players the time and tools necessary for them to be successful and for them to have the best season possible. That is a big piece of the off season, and I think we nailed it. I'm really, really happy with where we're at in all those areas. And as Matt said, some changes have occurred in those, but I think we're in a really good position heading into the season. The third thing that you have to do is you have to start creating, and Matt talked about it. You have to start creating your identity on a daily basis with urgency and intentionality. And that starts obviously with the coaching staff, and it moves on to the players. Our players had a tremendous, tremendous summer. We do things a little different than other teams in the NBA, and we're proud of that. And I think this summer really kind of signaled that in terms of guys in the gym, not just the last couple weeks, but all summer long, especially since after Vegas and Summer League. Guys coming back for two-a-days, coming in and getting extra shooting in, and spending time with the coaches and doing those things that maybe aren't typical of NBA summers. Our guys did an unbelievable job of that. The other thing that in terms of creating is, creating that camaraderie and that connection amongst the players. We have a lot of new players, and we had all our team out in Vegas. They spent time with Devin up in Flagstaff. They've been around for the last 4 weeks working out and doing different things like that. That is so important for us heading into training camp, that those connections and that camaraderie, and also the connection with the coaching staff. And I'll talk about Jordan and his staff later, probably with a question, but they're around all the time. And because of that, they are developing this connection with the players. I think it was in the summer, Oso talked about, we're going to be different because we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to do it. We're going to do what we say. And when we talk about the work ethic and spending time, Oso said, hey, I come back at night and I get extra shooting in. Every time I come back at night, Coach Ott's in there. So it's not just about talking about it, it's about doing it. And those are things that we're going to continue to do different. The other thing that you have to create is that what it looks like on a daily basis for us in terms of our daily discipline and our daily work habits. And I think we're in a good place heading into training camp with that. I really do. And I think that comes from the players. Our players, and I told them this yesterday, I'm so appreciative of what they've done and how they've embraced the things that we've talked about that are important, not only to Matt, to me, to Jordan, to our organization as a whole. They've knocked it out of the park. And as Matt said, that doesn't guarantee you 82 wins or whatever win total, but what it does do, it puts you in a position to execute at a high level. And I think heading into training camp, that's exactly where we're at. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Dana?
Back here with Tom Chambers and now EJ Eddie Johnson. We'll actually be talking to Brian Gregory. He'll be out here on our set, along with Mat Ishbia. But a chance to ask both of you guys, too, about the new vibe around this team and certainly kind of your reaction. I'll start with you, EJ, to Mat Ishbia and talking about bringing the joy back and just creating a whole new identity with this franchise and with this team.
I mean, this time of the year when you've had 4 or 5 months off, you're excited as a player to be able to get back in the gym, see your teammates, and everybody starts out 0-0. No matter what the prognostications are, you have thoughts and dreams that you're going to have a good year. I remember the first year that we were together back in 1988, we had come off of a 28-win season. And then we pick up this guy right here, and, we traded for Kevin and Mark West before that, the summer before that, and all of a sudden, we draft Dan Marley, Andrew Lang, Tim Perry, and all of a sudden, we're winning 55 games. So you just never know. You have to come in with optimism, and that's what I want to hear, the optimism, because nothing is guaranteed. You have no idea how it's going to turn out. Everything can flow quickly right away, and that's what we're hoping for.
I'll tell you what, the whole thing for me, listening to all of the new stuff, is just organization. I mean, crossing the T's and dotting the I's and making sure every single base is covered. I said to Eddie a minute ago, I said, all we worried about back then was Joe Prosky. We had one guy. Mm-hmm. Now they have staffs of people making sure everything is being done and being done the right way. It looks like it's going to be that way. I'm excited about that. But it is like Eddie said, like when Matt first got here, here's KD and here's Brett. I'm thinking we're never going to lose a game. You're so optimistic, but that groundwork had not been laid and had been done yet. And now the groundwork is being done. Completely different team, Tom. Completely different team.
And you nailed it, too, because lower expectations, more joy. I mean, it was tough to see the joy, to feel the joy the last couple of seasons with those high expectations. So I just love that comparison, too, about when TC, of course, he takes, all the credit for the turnaround of the franchise when he came by here. You guys were kind of bit players and all of that.
Duh.
See, there you go. But I mean, the difference in lower expectations and surprising people, possibly. And again, they don't want to put any numbers on amount of wins this season, but I'm sure you guys felt the same way at different points in your career.
Well, and that's a great point, because Eddie and I did that. We went from, and it was the biggest win turnaround in history of the NBA for a long, long time. And when you're going out there and you start beating people, and you're not supposed to be beating people, it's fun. I mean, it's fun. They all got targets. Well, it's fun. Now, it's like when we went to the finals in '93. It's like, okay, well, we're expected to do this. We're supposed to do this. We're supposed to do this. It wasn't as fun for me as it was when we're not supposed to be winning. We're just going out there and kicking people.
And you guys felt that in the first round against the Lakers. I mean, all the pressure almost falling in the first round.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. But you want to get to that point. And the goal for this team, they're young guys, and every important win is going to be great for them. I remember in '86, I was playing with the Kings, and we were having a decent year. But the Boston Celtics came into Sacramento. Now, if you remember the '86 Celtic team, that was considered one of the greatest teams ever, with Bird, Parrish, McHale, Dennis Johnson, all of them. And they were just running through the league. I mean, I think they had lost maybe 2 games up until that point. And we beat them. And that catapulted us, because then it put us in a position of, we can beat them, we can beat anybody. And it made us drive to the playoffs. And that's just the mindset that this young team has to have. Every game is an accomplishment for them. They're so young that it's going to be like a college-type atmosphere. And it's up to Devin, as the elder statesman on this team, to embrace that youngness and that youthfulness and not be old, but be young for them and be patient for them. And if he does, they're going to run through a brick wall. And that's what I'm looking for this year, is just the energy that these guys are going to put out there for 48 minutes.
And we just saw a shot of Dillon Brooks. That guy will run through a wall for any team that he plays with. When you guys look at the new structure and the new players on this roster, who are you going to be focusing in on in the first 2-3 weeks of the season?
Well, I think the guys that Devin is going to have to depend on. And look, people can say what they want about Jalen Green. He can score. Dude can score, and he's an athletic marvel. We know what he can do production-wise. We understand what Dillon Brooks is going to do. It's our big guys. Are they going to be a force in the paint? Are they going to rebound the ball? Is Ryan Dunn and Oso, are they going to continue to improve? Those are the situations I think that's going to enhance this team, is the hustle part around guys that can score the ball. If that can happen, again, I make reference back to Tom and I. That's why we won. We had hustle guys that did dirty work for us. The Ty Corbins, the Mark West, the Dan Marleys. Wow, he shot all the shots. and I did too.
and you're still taking shots at him now.
But that's how it blended. And so I think that should be the focus with these young guys.
Well, I've always said to you, Tom, you've probably heard me say it 100 times, leave some skin on the floor. Okay, this is a tough team. This team is going to be diving into the stands. This team is going to be all over the map, and the fans are going to absolutely embrace that defensive tenacity, hustle, toughness. How long has it been since we've really had an offensive rebounder? We've got 3 or 4 of them now. You know, a shot blocker, somebody protecting the paint. Things this Suns team, they've been pretty, you know, in their wins. Right now, I think we're going to get some dirty wins, you know.
And the youth, too, because the Suns have not been that involved in drafts over the last 3 or 4 years. So now to have 3 guys, and again, Kobe Brea is going to be he's on a 2-way contract. I think he's still going to see minutes. He looked great in Vegas. I mean, just a terrific
shoot the ball.
Oh, my goodness, can he ever. And you've got Rasheer Fleming, who was the first pick in the second round. This guy has power forward skills, a 3-point shot, and Kaman Malawach. I think they want to temper expectations for him right now because, again, he's 18, turning 19, and he has some great mentors ahead of him in terms of Nick Richards and then, of course, Mark Williams, who came over from Charlotte as well. And then you have Oso in the mix. So you talk about protecting the rim, putting pressure on the rim. They now have literally 4 centers that they can juggle.
But I don't want Malawach to come in and think he's going to grow behind somebody. No, you come in and take minutes. It's competition. Like, you know, you're in the NBA now. You're a grown man. You know, you decided to come out. No, you're a grown man. Forget that stuff. I mean, he's got to embrace the opportunity and the competition to see if he can grow quickly to help this team win. And we've seen it time and time again with young players, so I'm not going to make him an exception. I saw him in Whole Foods a couple of weeks ago, so he's doing the right thing. He's eating good.
He's tough to miss, too, because he's all a 7'2".
I walked past him, and I just saw his navel. So, I mean, just like, you know, I'm like, okay, this guy here, he must play.
And great young men. I've had a chance to spend some time with all 3 of the rookies over the summer. And Malawach, we were watching some of the voluntary workouts a couple of weeks ago, literally just walks over. We all stand up. He looks us in the eye. Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Kaman. We're like, I mean, these are going to be players.
That was really good accent, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't great, but if he's looking at his navel, by the way, I'm looking at his kneecap.
I'll tell you what.
They're going to be easy to root for. All 3 of these rookies. I think fans are going to fall in love with them.
Energy.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? If a guy can protect the rim and block shots, he's going to have an opportunity to play in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that simple. And the thing is, his shot don't look bad, Tom. His shot don't look bad. This man can make a shot.
Oh, and he'll shoot 3s.
Well, why not?
He did that in Summer League. He was not shy.
No, his free throws look good. That tells me a guy can develop into a shooter.
Well, yeah, when you're shooting almost 80% in college from the free throw line, you know, big guys usually don't have that. So that touch right there is important, and it's going to go a long ways. And you think they're going to temper him back? I think this guy's going to play a little bit.
Yeah, the greatest, most important thing is when you're talking about Devin, right? Like, he and I had bodyguards, even though he'd fight anybody. But he and I had bodyguards, like guys that would take the pressure of you having to have a combustible moment with someone else. And if you look at the history of the game with unbelievable scores, they all played with guys that protected them. And I don't think Devin has ever had that. Last year I thought that was a part of our problem with our team is that KD and Devin and Brad didn't really have guys that can go out there and really protect them from a physical standpoint. This team is different. You got Dillon Brooks on this team. I don't care what you think about it. He can get a lot of texts. But you know what? Devin doesn't have to deal with guys knocking him down now and having to stand up. He's going to have guys come over there and protect him with Mark Williams and who's massive. That's what he needs. And he's never really had that here. And that's why I say, I don't want him to have to lead the league in scoring, but his average is going to go up. And if it's leading to wins, fine. But I think he's going to feel real comfortable this year knowing that God's got his back.
And that's the one question in preparing for Media Day and thinking about Devin Booker joining us, and he will in a few minutes. But asking him that question, how is this relationship developing with you and Dillon Brooks after being adversaries for so long? And now, and again, I know
it was ugly.
You shrug your
shrug
your shoulders, and it's happened before where guys change teams. But
this guy looked at me like he wanted to kill me before we played with each other. I would talk junk, not too much to him, but I just look at him. You know how he gets that stare. And he and Frank Bukowski was on the same team. Now, I'm messing with two of those dudes who I know is crazy, right? But, but when you become teammates, it's different. Like Frank Bukowski and I are good friends. We talk all the time. No, it doesn't play that way. And people need to understand that. Like, you come to the team, that's your teammate now. And it's basketball.
Yep.
Xavier McDaniel, couldn't stand him. He couldn't stand me. We were hugging and halfway kissing each other 2 months ago. It's not personal.
It's right. I could not stand Danny Ainge. He came here. Okay. Karl Malone. I hated playing against Karl Malone.
Yeah.
I mean, we got in fights in summer league and all the time. And when I joined him on the team, we were just hanging out, going out in the mountains.
And you know that's going to develop between those two guys. But for me, it's that initial meeting and working out together and starting.
They've already made it.
When you first see a person like that, all you can do is laugh. Oh man, remember?
I know.
Oh man, you remember?
Yeah. And we're going to be showing that footage time and time again. All right, Eddie, we're going to cut you loose. We're going to head back to the podium in just a couple of minutes. We will have Mat Ishbia with us.
For any questions.
Dana, you're first.
Coach.
Hey, Dana.
How you doing? And welcome back.
Thank you.
This past summer, you replaced James Jones, and you worked with him directly before he was put as a senior advisor. How do you view him and what he's now as the executive vice president of basketball operations for the league, and having to work with him and replacing Joe Dumars? Do you see that as a reflection of the success of the organization, as a win, even though Matt talked about not everything's measured in wins and losses?
Yeah, well, first, I get just as many emails from James now as I did before in his new role, and congratulations to him. Obviously, I learned a lot under him over the last 2 years. We spent a lot of time together, not only in terms of our team, but obviously with the draft and the evaluation process and different things like that. Have a ton of respect for him and what he did here during his time. And obviously, I was excited about the role that he was going to play with the Phoenix Suns. To his credit and to the organization's credit, he's now been able to move into the new role with the NBA, which he will do a tremendous job. He knows the game. He knows the league. He's great with people. All those things are so critical in the role that he has now with the NBA.
Back here now with Mat Ishbia, who is up on the podium, and Brian Gregory is there. We'll hear from Jordan Ott as well. You covered a lot of topics, so I'm checking off questions that I wanted to ask you. But we were just talking about Dillon Brooks, and then you've talked about the new identity, the new culture, and bringing joy back out onto the floor for the fans, but more than anything, the toughness. What have you seen and heard already from voluntary workouts and the addition of some of the new players, especially Dillon, because, I mean, that's a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when we made the Kevin Durant trade, Dillon was a target, right? Dillon is exactly what we're talking about. Absolutely. He's the kind of guy we want here. So I can be very clear, like, defensive minded, tough, sticks up for his teammates. A little bit, he does some things good that people will like. I love everything about Dillon Brooks' game. That's like my type of game.
Does he look at you like that, though? Oh, my goodness, man.
He might scare me a little bit,
but
I'm so happy to have him on the team. Him and Jalen, those two guys in that trade. And then we end up getting Kaman and Rasheer and Kobe with the draft picks from basically. So we basically got 5 players. I love those type of guys. But Dillon is exactly what he comes in early. He comes back and shoots again at night. He's the type of guy that we want here. He's 29 years old. He's a winner. He's a competitor. And I'm super excited to watch him. Like, he's going to become everyone's favorite player, except for every other team. No one else is going to like him, but that's okay.
Look at the smile on this guy's face.
I'm laughing because I couldn't stand the man. I mean, I look at him like, dude, what are you doing? What are you staring at? I mean, but when he's on your team, obviously he's going to be that guy. Devin's not going to have to stand up for himself anymore. I mean, because there's going to be people doing that for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I grew up in the bad boys days, and the Bill Lambeers and that I like that type of mentality. It doesn't mean you have to be. I know you probably don't like that mentality.
But I had to do the Rick Mahorn thing. Okay, trust me. I know when I'm chasing Kelly Tripucka around and Isaiah Thomas and all the guys who can actually play, I'm running into people like that. So it's obviously they didn't score a whole bunch of points to win a championship either. They just played some tough defense, and I think that's what the team's going to transition to.
Absolutely. We got to play tough. We got to care about each other. We got to be great teammates. We got to dive on the floor. We got to high five each other. We got to throw our wristband to the fan when we walk off. Like I want that type of culture here, and we didn't have that the last couple of years. And so now we're stepping in. We're setting the identity. I took the blame and said we're going to set the identity, the culture, the vision, and we're going to go get players and coaches in front office that are aligned with that. If they're not aligned with it, we'll get them out of here and we'll get some new players. And that's what we're looking for. And Dillon's exactly what we want.
And your partner on this journey, no doubt, is Devin Booker, and he has been since you've gotten here. What can you tell us about this past summer, this off season, and your discussions with Book and how involved he was in some of the decisions and the changes that we're now seeing?
Yeah, so Devin Booker is the franchise player, and I talked to him about all these things. And so does Brian Gregory and Coach Ott. Like, we're very involved with Devin. I think I joked, and maybe it's true. I think he interviewed more coaches than I did. Right? Like, I only met the last 2 guys that they brought to me, but he talked to more of them, and he liked the guys that we had. And so, Devin is completely bought in. He signed an extension. He is exactly what we want here in Phoenix. You need a franchise player to win, to compete for a chance. You need a top 10, top 50, and Devin Booker is that. Now, how does he step up his leadership? How does he step up his game? How do we build the right pieces around him? That's not only his job. That's all of our jobs together. But we're very lucky to have Booker here in Phoenix. Hopefully the fans love it. I love it, and makes my job easier having a 28-year-old franchise player to build around. We have a shot to do it the right way.
And I think building around him right now, you've done a much better job as far as having those building blocks, having rim protectors, having guys who get offensive rebounds, having guys, and I said it earlier today, who will leave skin on the floor. The fans are going to embrace that toughness, that hard-foughtness. And the Phoenix Suns, to me, I believe, are going to win games on the defensive end. We've talked about that in the past, but it truly looks like this team's going to be able to play great defense.
Yeah, and we, as you saw, we didn't do that last year, and we're going to do it this year. And you know what? We're not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a straight shot winning. We're going to get better every single day, and it started already in the summer. But defensively, from Dillon to Ryan Dunn to, of course, we got rim protectors like Mark and Nick Richards and Kaman, and of course Oates. We have people now that can do things and build around Devin Booker the right way. And I think the hardest part to win a championship team is to get the star player that's the right guy, and then it's our job to build the right thing around him, and I think we've done a better job of that now.
And what have you seen from Jordan Ott? TC has been up on the mountain, so he was asking me, and I've had a chance to spend some time with Jordan in Vegas and a couple times here in Phoenix. He's one of those guys. He's not a big personality, but, man, I just think what a tremendous pick. This is a guy that the franchise can grow with. He's smart. He's dedicated. He's getting into the gym at 5:30 in the morning. But what have you seen from him, and what kind of discussions, again, have you guys had leading into training camp?
Yeah, well, first off, it starts with Jordan Ott and his work ethic. He's willing to put in more time and be a grinder and outwork. And that's like how you win in anything, in any business. You have to outwork other people. He's willing to do that first. Second off is he has a great basketball mind. It's amazing to talk to him. The last couple of coaches, which are all fine coaches, but they looked at how you used to win. He looks at how you're going to win in 5 years. He understands analytics. He thinks about things. He talked to me about basketball stuff that's like I say futuristic because he's just thinking about it differently than other teams. Now, does it all work? Who knows? But you know what? He's thinking about it. He ran the offense there in Cleveland last year. It's pretty good offense, pretty similar players in backcourt that we had. Like, I think he's going to do an amazing job. The players all really respect him because players don't have to respect the rah-rah coach. They want to respect someone that knows what the hell they're talking about. And he knows what he's talking about. He cares. He's in early. He stays late. He'll spend time with the guys. I'm really excited to see as he develops too as a coach, right? We're developing players, developing coaches, developing front office. I'm developing as an owner. We're all going to get better together, and hopefully as the years go on, you're going to see a lot of positive results.
How many hours a night do you sleep?
Not many. Not many.
Are you still getting up at 4 in the morning?
Yeah, I'm like 5.5, 6 hours. But so if I go to bed at 9:30, I get up at 3:30. If I go to bed at 11, it's 5.
It's amazing because you look younger than you did then. I thought that you'd have a few gray hairs and stuff by now.
They're coming.
Real quick, we got to let you go, and Jordan Ott is up there. But I want a quick comment though on Steve Nash. You talked about him at the podium. How much of an influence has he already been? You said you guys have had meetings before leading up to him becoming senior advisor. What has he already helped you with, and what do you expect him to continue to help you with?
Yeah, so Jordan coached with him back in Brooklyn, so they have a good relationship. Brian Gregory and him have a good relationship. I saw he was at the arena at the practice the other day talking to players, and I built a little relationship with over time. But the truth is he's just exactly what Phoenix Suns are all about. Like bringing our best former players back. Like we got this guy right next to me here. We got Steve Nash. We got Eddie John. I want these guys around. And so getting Steve around us is a winning formula. And I'm excited to have him here, spend time wherever he spends time, whether he spends time with the players, the coaches. Most of the time will probably be the coaches in the front office. But I'm just excited that he wants to be around. And that means a lot. Just like Tom being around and other guys being around, we want these guys back and being part of the organization.
That's great stuff. I really appreciate it. It's just a breath of fresh air, this media day, the new team, the new coach, the new GM. So a lot of positivity. Appreciate it.
Right.
Appreciate you.
We're going to listen to the head coach who's at the podium right now.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, guys.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Can't believe this is here already. I think last time I spoke on something like this, we were at 5G and it was just starting. So incredible couple months, very busy. Everything was just flying past, and then it's like August already, September already. Everything's been so fast except for the last couple days. I think it's creeping along because we're so excited to get to practice, to be back on the basketball court with this new group. Like everyone said already before, how great a couple months it was this summer, and now we got to put it to practice. And very excited with the commitment of this group. Like other people have said, Matt and BG have talked about from top down. Our commitment to be in the gym, to be different, to work together, that's our competitive advantage. So it's extremely exciting what we've done and also where we're going, and it starts tomorrow. So open with questions.
Okay, Greg. There you are, Greg.
Coach, all the way in the back here.
Yes, sir.
First of all, best of luck on your first season. I cannot imagine how excited you must be to really get to work. I know a lot of guys are going to ask you about Devin and all of that, but I want to know about Dillon Brooks. What have you seen from him, and what's it mean to have a dude like that next to you instead of across from you?
I think we've all seen Dillon as an opponent. I actually was in LA, a couple years ago in the playoffs against him, and the edge and competitive spirit that he plays with is unmatched. And just knowing him from afar, we knew that competitive spirit would lift our group. Things we didn't know is his work ethic backs it up. He's not all smoke. I told it right to his face a couple weeks ago. He's an incredible worker, one of the hardest workers I've seen. Talk about two-a-days. He was in there again last night. He lifts our group on the floor when he's there, in the building when he's there. Every night to go to war with someone like that is going to help not only Book, but also our young guys and show them the way that this is the way that we have to be. Again, and a competitive advantage of ours is outwork, outplay, how hard we can play. He's going to be the leader of that every night, and it's good to have him on our team.
Okay, we have Brendan. Thank you.
Hey, Jordan. Brendan Clean, Phoenix New Times. BG touched on Mark's situation a little bit. I'm curious about Common and what you see the process being like with him this year. People are wondering about, starting versus bench between those two and just kind of developing such a young guy with such potential.
Yeah, we'll start with Kaman. We're extremely excited about him as a player. Again, I'll talk about the person and the spirit. You guys are going to see it. You're going to see it at practice. You're going to see today when you talk to him. He's an incredible way about him because of his experiences. And then at the same time, we have to understand he's 19 years old. He's only spent 1 year in college basketball. I think we saw it a little bit in Summer League. He's going to have incredible plays that only he can make. And then he's going to have some spots where he has a long way to go. Part of that is off the court in the weight room. And he's done a great job in the last couple of months adding strength to a spot now where he's getting there. But we do have to have some grace with Kaman. And for that reason, we're happy with our center depth, led by Mark. Nick and Oso all have had really good summers. We're in a good spot with our center depth. Extremely excited to see how it all plays out in camp and then into the regular season.
Kellen?
Jordan, Kellen Olson, Arizona Sports. Good to see you. In the summer, BG was mentioning how you were in there at every hour, seemingly, but when did you realize the players were starting to or had already kind of adopted the culture identity you were going for, and what was it like for you as a coach to see before training camp that the work and what you guys want to see is already being implemented?
I think, BG will often give us praise for getting those guys in there, but the reality is that's who they are, and this is the way the group is built. You draft players that want to work. You have guys on your roster that want to work. They'll come back. And then it's our job as coaches to create the environment, which we've been very intentional with.
All right, we'll hear more from Jordan Ott. He'll be joining us here at the stage, back here with Tom Chambers and our general manager, Brian Gregory. I had a great meeting with you. By the way, he's looking pretty darn sharp. Right? That GM contract comes with a clothing deal.
That had nothing to do with it.
The purple tie, though, good call.
Yeah, my wife did get this yesterday.
There you
I had
go.
to get some, so yeah. But just add a little class to the organization.
You look like the director of the FBI or some guy ahead of the New York Police Department or something. You talk like that too. But man, it's nice to get to know you and see what you're doing. We're really excited.
Yeah, we are. Things have been going well. We've had a great summer, so I'm excited about training camp opening tomorrow, and executing this stuff that we've been talking about for 3.5 months.
You talk about executing. You've already seen some of the voluntary workouts. Everybody's talking about Dillon Brooks showing up early, coming back later in the evening. What are some of the things that have jumped out for you in terms of all the new faces and just watching these workouts before the start of training camp?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we've talked about with the guys is just embracing being different and doing things differently and through our draft picks, through the guys that we have coming back, and through some of the new guys that we have in trades, and you mentioned Dillon Brooks, their work ethic this summer, and hasn't just been the last 3 weeks, it's been all summer long, has been off the charts. And, Dillon is at one extreme. He gets one in the morning, he gets one in with the coaches in the late morning, and then he comes back at night. Just a monster when it comes to the workouts. But again, something different, and we have to be different. We have to embrace that, and I think our guys have done a great job of that. You got Book coming back for 2 days, getting his extra shooting in at night and different things. Our young guys follow suit. When those older guys, as you know, Tom, when those guys set the tone and tempo, the young guys follow suit, and I think you're seeing that.
Did he just call me old?
No, he was talking about, I think, some of the older guys on the team.
No.
I think he called.
We're old. But the veterans on the team.
And you were here. You were here last year, and you were kind of behind the scenes, kind of watching everything and seeing how things go. What changes did you want to make right away this year that didn't happen last year? That didn't work for you last year?
Yeah, I think one. You watched every game. When fans walked out of here, there was not a sense that they had any fun watching our team play, to be honest. And I think Matt's been very candid in that, in terms of how hard we played, the competitiveness that we played with. We needed to change that, and changes had to occur because of that. And I think we're in a good place with that. This is a play hard league now. I think Rick Carlisle said that a couple weeks ago. If you don't play hard, you have no chance to win games. And I think that's been a shift a little bit. And I think we have to embrace that. That has to be a big part of our identity.
Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, as you know, simple but not easy. Yeah, simple but not easy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And there's a competitiveness and there's a resiliency that you need because, as you know, you're going to get knocked down. You're going to lose 2 in a row. Are you able to bounce back? Are you able to stick to what your principles are and that your identity is? These are the things that we're going to do. We're going to compete. We're going to rebound. You know, the possession game has become so big, and one of the things that's funny about it, a lot of that is the effort stats. You know what I mean? So I think us emphasizing that and our players grasping it, buying in, and then going out there and executing it.
So you went through your first draft as general manager. As you're watching the 3 rookies in particular that you drafted, how much pride do you take in them? Because they're all 3 really good young men. And what have you seen in terms of their progress just over the summer?
You know, Tom, you made a great point. The character of those 3 guys, the integrity, their desire to become great players, just puts them in a position where there's a clear pathway for development. They got great work ethic, and they're very talented and skilled in their own way. So there's been tremendous progress since the Vegas Summer League. The thing that's interesting about Vegas is those guys are training on their own. They get drafted, and then 8 days later they're in a practice, and then 10 days later they're playing in the game. They're not ready for that. You know what I mean? It's after that the progress is made, and those guys have been in market every day since then, working out, getting their work done, getting their bodies changed. You know what I mean? Kaman's put on. He looks different. Just in the 2 months since that point, he looks different. He moves different. You know, Rasher, same thing. Kobe, same thing. So I obviously there's a great pride with those 3 guys because when we talk about Phoenix Suns basketball and being different and what it's supposed to be about, those 3 embody it. And I'm excited about our coaches helping them develop into the players that they can be.
So you trade for Mark Williams, and then like 3 minutes later you draft Malowich. I mean, and there was some criticism of that, of going out and getting 2 bigs. What was your – first of all, you didn't think he would fall to you, but what was your thinking when you had a center now and you went, okay, we're going to draft another center right now?
Well, I think one's 23 and one's 19. You know what I mean? So when you look into the future and the progress that they're going to make as players, it does put you in a good position where that center spot is down the road, is locked up. Mm-hmm. Second thing is we knew how poorly we were at protecting the rim and finishing at the rim.
And offensive rebounds.
No offensive rebounds. And so, you know, making sure that those things – the game is won in the paint, and everybody talks about the three-point shooting, which is critical. But most of the threes are created because you're getting into the paint. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have a rim presence offensively and defensively, then the paint touches don't have the same impact. Centers ain't playing the whole game either. Right. So having guys that have a different skill set, is going to be a guy that can stretch the floor. And Mark Williams has had some issues on the injury side of things, but we think at 23 years old, under us direction with the Human Performance Group, he's got a bright future.
2 things I want to thank you for: your candor and your availability. Really appreciate it, and I know we'll have many more discussions as we move forward, but best of luck this season, and I know you guys have a long trip to Macau in China as well, so we're going to talk to Jordan Ott about that too, because that throws some wrenches into his first training camp.
Well, I went to Japan with the Suns when we played the Jazz over there for a couple of games, and it wasn't bad playing over there, but coming back, we hit a wall.
I know. I mean, we've done a lot of different things. We got a sleep expert to help us, and he set up a game plan for our guys flying.
You guys had sleep experts back then.
Yeah,
that was Joe Prosky. That was Joe Prosky. One trainer, sorry.
Sleep expert. Yeah. Here's a pillow, Tom.
Yeah. Here, put some Flexol on that.
I'll tell you right now, he doesn't need a sleep expert anymore. Every time I text him at 10:30 in the morning, he's still sleeping, so he's doing good.
I get a solid 12 hours. I'm like Matt. I get all the sleep that Matt doesn't get.
Oh, man. People are tuning in to hear about the Suns that we're hearing about is
You
sleep
brought
habits.
it up.
I did. Well, I get it. Appreciate it, Brian.
No, you got it.
We're going to hear from Devin Booker right now at the podium.
What up?
All right, we'll go ahead and get started here with Shane.
I can hear you.
Congrats on the extension this summer. And how like the point guard discussion might be. In general, it seems like that's overblown with the Suns. But from your perspective, do you enjoy dictating possessions as that lead ball handler, and how do you view that chemistry is going to be with Jalen?
I do. I enjoy it. I think it starts with both of us with the ability to score. And once you become a threat in that regard, it's going to open up easier opportunities for everybody else. But I think overall, playing with a faster pace and getting up the court and what we call kick-aheads or skips, it doesn't really matter.
Go to Dwayne.
Is this on? Okay, it's on. Sorry. First, congrats on the extension as well. Curious in terms of two things. One, when you look at your role now and being, taking on more of a leadership duty, because you talked about last year, felt like you could have been more vocal, more imposing. How much are you implementing that now? And then when you just look back at how things didn't go last year with the team, what do you reflect upon in that regard?
What was the first question again? My voice, yeah. The leadership aspect is going to be more important than ever this year. Just realizing our roster, the age of our roster, and just the experience that I've had and what I've seen. So I'm going to do what I can. I'm always going to use my voice. I feel like I used my voice a lot last year too, but we just fell short. It wasn't as connected as we wanted to be. I don't think anybody had problems with each other off the court. We just simply weren't connected enough.
Go to David Brandt.
Hey, Devin, over here. I know you have all the respect in the world for Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, but kind of going off that leadership question, is it easier to impose your will, impose your direction now that you're really the unquestioned leader of the franchise again?
I mean, we'll see. I'm going to use my voice always. If I say something, if I feel something is going to be beneficial for the team, and especially with this team now for the growth of any young player, and I've been around these guys a lot. They're already hitting me with the right questions. But yeah, it was tough. I think just not getting to where we wanted to with Kevin and Bragg, two guys that I have a high respect for and always will. The opportunity to play alongside them was, a lot in its own, but, it'll always be a disappointment to me to, not do what, we all sought out to do.
Go to Brendan Clean next.
Hey, Book. How much of this season for you is going to be about sort of reminding people what you can be as a player and what this franchise can be, given how the last few years have gone?
I mean, I'm trying to keep it in-house, man. We're trying to just stack days. We understand we're a young team, but we're going to make some mistakes. But I think the quicker we minimize those mistakes and making the same mistakes, we'll let our full potential be what it can be with the talent that we have, with the youth that we have.
Up here to Espo.
Devin, 10 years ago, you walk in this building and you have guys like Tyson Chandler, PJ Tucker, that kind of help walk you through things. Now you're going to be that guy for some of these younger guys. What did you learn from them that you can apply as you take on that role with some of these younger guys?
I'd say just being a professional, no matter what's going on. And obviously those early years weren't the prettiest either. Just still sticking with it. Not getting caught up in whatever it is, if it's media, if it's whatever's going on in the locker room, like you just have to continue to get better. And there was a lot going on early in my career, but, I was able to keep the main thing, keep it tunnel vision and, continue to work. And although we didn't get it done in 21, I was able to see it go from the bottom to, almost the top. And, it wasn't easy, but just understanding that it's an everyday grind and it starts right now.
Go to the right to Kellen.
Book, what's up? Kellen Olson, Arizona Sports. Good to see you. We've asked you dozens of versions of this question in the past, but for you to re-up here through several different eras and a player of your stature, it's not particularly common for a guy to stick around, whether it's because Phoenix is home now or the trust that you have in BG and Matt for this era, just on your decision to stay here in an era where we see guys moving around all the time.
Yeah, guys moving around all the time and teams moving guys around, so it's a partnership and, it's a trust. And Matt came in and understood the importance of how I felt about the city and how the city feels about me. But like I just said, man, from being at the bottom and, almost getting the job done, I have unfinished business here and I know how much it would mean to this city and this organization. So, that's my job. As a leader, it's my responsibility of being a franchise player that, I have to communicate to everybody, the importance of basketball in this town and, how serious we take it.
Stay on the right with Lena.
The most talented man in Arizona, and quick too, because he can go from the podium to the stage like this. And Devin Booker joining us now. This is, you're in great shape already, apparently.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
We were just talking about about 50 yards away. The first time I ever interviewed you was up in that room after you were drafted by the Suns. We were talking about baby Book, man.
Oh,
it's
man.
just like it feels like it was a couple years ago. You look like a baby. I mean, you still look very young. I mean, just blow your mind. 2025 now, and this is a whole new roster. This is going to be a new experience for you this season for sure.
It is. A lot of baby Books on the team.
Yeah.
a lot of 22
Yes.
and unders. We all got together. A lot of Shirley Temples ordered amongst the team.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's been 10 years, obviously. Feels like 3 separate careers, honestly, from like the start to where we brought it in bubble in 21 to, now embracing this new role of, being one of the older guys and, taking on this leadership role all the way through.
And it's amazing to me, Book, like when you got here, okay, he's a great shooter. He's out of Kentucky. The evolution of your game and that quick, is that something you can help these guys with? They're like, okay, yeah, this is like, another guy. Kobe was drafted out of Kentucky. He's a shooter, okay? And we didn't really know you that well at the time because you'd only played 1 year in college. How did you get on that path, and what are you going to do to help these guys get on that path as well?
Yeah, I think it starts with confidence, and the confidence isn't going to come from anywhere. It's going to come from putting the hours in and putting the work in. But you just have to remain, aggressive. I think I was talking to Kobe about it too. The more hesitant you are, like the least likely you can be on the court. I think all 5 guys have to be a threat at all times in this day and age. And we just have to keep putting confidence into them at the same time too. But it comes with the work. It's an everyday thing, and it's not an on and off switch. It always has to be on.
All right, I've been living vicariously through your Instagram and just kind of following your summer. So you got to tell me what your favorite part was. I mean, you threw out the first pitch at a Tigers game. I think you had Heyman with you. I don't know, Hector. I guess Hector didn't make. You were in Iceland.
I did go to
That
Iceland.
is something else. I mean, there's this shot of you. Who came up with that, by the way, where you're cupping your hands? I think we're going to see it in just a second. And all of a sudden, the volcano. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Like rubbing your hands and then poof.
Yeah.
Seriously, who came up with that? That is magical.
I mean, I had the trip planned already, and it just happened the volcano became active the day before we got there. So that was like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So a volcano, a glacier, and waterfalls all in the same day. Definitely the highlight of my summer.
I just wanted when he's on the boat where it's warm and fish and like where you're getting your tan and stuff like that. Iceland looked kind of mystical and stuff like that.
It was definitely mystical.
I like that warm stuff.
You're Saint-Tropez, south of France. You're I stopped by there too. I
saw something.
Nice.
Yeah.
And all the shots too in Sedona and Flagstaff. I just love how you love northern Arizona. Aspen Corner is one of my favorite spots in the state. I don't know how much time we have with you, but I'm not going to let you go before we ask you about Dillon Brooks.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Glad he's on our side. Right?
Yeah, I thought I wasn't allowed to ask that question. I go, that's the number one. But what is that like when you guys first see each other as teammates? These guys, because Eddie Johnson and TC were talking about, I'm sure they're probably just laughing. Yeah, like going, yeah, you remember that time? Or was there laughter?
Oh,
or was
yeah. We get on the phone first.
Okay.
You know, he called me immediately. I think the day the trade went down and just asked my plans on the summer when we're going to link up and get things started. So everybody always explains as the guy you hate when he's not on your team, but, you know, you embrace him when he is. So I think that whole reputation is taken away from, you know, what type of player he really is and how effective he is. You know, so I've been seeing some great things from him this summer. He's definitely a worker. You know, he's going to be in there for amount of time that you don't see out of anybody, honestly. So, you know, it shows on the court, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is effective in a lot of different things out there. He's actually shooting the ball well now, too. But,
exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to pick fights anymore. I mean, you don't have to stand up for yourself anymore. Having a guy like that to kind of take that pressure off of you of being the tough guy out there.
Yeah, we'll do it all together.
I was about to say,
teamwork.
I want to check with you first before we call him Book's bodyguard, because you can take care of yourself. But are you cool with that? You know, I always want to check.
Let's see how things go. I might be his.
I like that.
All right.
See,
That's
that's why you're the best, Book. We'll cut you loose, man.
Appreciate
you.
you,
Got a lot
fellas.
of people
Thanks,
asking
man.
for your time and appreciate it, and keep up the good work, especially like the creative videos, man. I just love that
Fun
stuff.
stuff.
Just living, man. Appreciate
living
you
a good
guys.
life, man. We're lucky to have you around. Thanks, man.
You couldn't have upgraded? You still got to deal with the same freaking guy from Montana over there? Hey, he said
All right, so Devin Booker joining us, along with Mat Ishbia, Brian Gregory. We're going to have the head coach, Jordan Ott, here in just a matter of moments as TC continues to hold conversations with anybody and everybody around this stage. Hope you're enjoying Suns Media Day 2025. They will begin official practices tomorrow at the practice facility. And then we've got the preseason game in Palm Springs, Palm Desert once again. And then they will be off to Macau, China, as now we're being joined by the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns, Jordan Ott. I've been lucky to hang out with you. You're probably already tired of me this summer. We saw each other in Vegas, and I followed you around at the practice facility.
You think you're tired of me? I've been doing it for 25 years.
Oh, my gosh.
25 years of this.
Is it that bad? It's not that bad, is it?
Good to see you.
I tell everybody, too, like, just getting to know you and be around you, it's been a joy. I mean, you just have, like, this laser focus, a great warm personality, and then being able to see some of the voluntary workouts, too, and how you're relating with the players. I mean, they're locked in to you as well. How has the process gone so far?
Yeah, it's great. I think every day it's a new challenge as a first-year head coach. But we tried to be as intentional as we can. When those guys are in our building, we want them to know that we care for them, that this is the best place for them to develop. And, you know, that's our competitive advantage. We want them in our building to feel different. There's a joy of playing basketball. Let's keep that. And let's keep that now in September and as we progress through the season.
I'll tell you what, you got that look in your eye like the cat that ate the canary, you know? there's something there that you're thinking like 3 steps ahead of what we're asking. I mean, have you always thought differently and seen things differently than people you've been around?
I think I've always been curious. I think there's been can we do something better? Is there something out there that's better? And now I get to test it. And I think that's an exciting part of this profession or this, job is now we're going to see. And then if it doesn't work, that's okay. We'll try something else. And it's always like the pursuit of something else that's out there that maybe we could do better. And that's what I'm excited about.
First team dinner last night, I'm told. What was that like, and what was your main message to the group?
One of the messages was explaining the why. Why are we here tonight? One of the things I wanted to take off from them is we have a 3-day stretch here of practice. Show them exactly what we're going to do. Especially the young guys and our first camp together, like take the anxiety out. Like we're here to play basketball. This is exactly what we want to get accomplished the first couple of days. Vets, hang with us. There's a lot of installs. First time through it. It's going to be a lot of teaching. We're going to explain the details of why, and then after we get them in, then we're going to play. And then we're going to see exactly where we have some gaps and we need to fill it in. We got to speed this up. We're going to China, in a couple weeks. So that is going to be a challenge for us to get it up to speed as we go to China and maximize that time not only on our court here, also in that air. You know, it's like a little bit of a team bonding point of our preseason that we're extremely excited about.
Well, you made just a drastic improvement with that Cleveland team. I mean, they were really good last year, and you were obviously instrumental in a lot of that. What do you see that you can bring from that team to this team to try and help them make that next step?
I think style of play matters. You know, I think style of play is a competitive advantage that we can have here in Phoenix, and it's not that exact style of play. You know, it's what fits our guys the best. And obviously, we have all different types of experiences, coaches, players. We're going to try some stuff early. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we're going to move on and try to find something that, you know, will work for our group. So I think both ends of the floor, the game is changing. You know, it's obviously faster. Guys are moving more on both ends of the ball. Defensively, it's a much more aggressive style of play that is out there. And then you got to rebound. You got to win the possession game. Both sides of the ball, you got to win the possession game. So we're going to try some stuff early. We believe real strong that we can impact our group early in our style of play. And it's a continuous process over the course of the season.
All right, I'm watching post-game after the Bears won last weekend, and I'm thinking about you because their first-year head coach, Ben Johnson, brings all the players together. They're in the locker room, and he starts yelling the motto, I guess, that they have: good, better, best, never let it rest. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure if you're going to be as rah-rah as that guy, but do you have a motto or a mantra for the team this year?
Oh, I did see that, and I've seen multiple football coaches do it. You know, I think they have an advantage that it's only, 17 games. We have 82 of those games, so it's a little bit. Our post-game locker rooms are a little bit different. So I do believe in the process. I believe if we can get better. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie, you're a veteran player, staff. I think we all can get better, and having that mindset when you enter the building in the right frame of mind. And we're all here to do the right thing. I think we all can get better. So that you just stick to the process. The outcomes will take care of itself.
It wasn't your wife from Tucson, or do you have some roots here in the Valley? Don't you?
No, actually I don't. She's from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
But one of our staff members, have some
I read
roots.
something. It's tough getting publications up on top of the hill. You know what I'm saying?
Wi-Fi doesn't work.
He likes it that way.
How are you liking the Valley, though?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, obviously, sunny every single day. Haven't spent too much time in cities like this where it's sun every single day, and we have 2 small kids. Enjoy the pool. They've never been around a pool before, so the city's great. Fun. I don't know in the winter when you get off the plane, off an East Coast trip or something up north, and you get off the plane and it's good weather. It just helps all of us. Like
it's a big step from Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a little
Brooklyn. Yeah,
I
know. Yeah, you're gonna love the winters. All right, Coach. Thank you so much for your time, and we will see you this week at
we'll see you
some
soon.
of the training camp workouts, and then once again there will be the first preseason game against the Lakers, and then the Suns will see them again here in Phoenix for the final preseason game with that trip to Macau, China in between. Joining us now is the president of the Suns and Mercury, and that's the first chance I've had to say Mercury because I know this is I know how passionate you are. We had dinner with you.
I was locked in.
You were so locked in. We're trying to get questions. You were just watching the game. That was when they were working on getting into the playoffs, and then the 20-point comeback last night or yesterday.
Yeah.
So now the series tied 1-1 with Minnesota. I can't imagine the jubilation that you had watching that.
It was awesome. Well, first, it's great to see you guys. It means we're here, which is awesome. We got to spend some time this summer. But the Merc, unbelievable game. It's been that way all year, though. Like, there's a toughness and grit. It reminded me of watching clips of this guy and the collective belief. And the first half was ugly. But we're 2 wins away from the finals. We got to go one game at a time. But Friday night here should be electric. How often you get to come home 1-1, play on your home court, and the X factor. Our fans love that team. So it's been a fun year, and we're right there.
I think that the president and the GM they got in on the Knicks clothing deal.
Oh,
they got the new suits out.
Even
They're all
purple tie.
fancy,
Purple tie. You and Brian.
We had a little text chain last night. my wife picked this out. Sydney, shout out to you. This is all for you.
Nice. The blueprint for the Mercury, and you have brought this up, and I think Matt brought it up as well. I mean, to see the progress that they've made over the last 2 years, how they put the team together. Obviously, Nick Uren and Nate Tibbetts have done an incredible job, but that's the same type of blueprint that you would like to see now for the Suns. Is that correct?
Well, Nick and Nate deserve a ton of credit. You're spot on. I mean, 9 wins 2 years ago. Matt and I's first year here. 19 last year, 7 seed, just getting into the playoffs, and 27 this year and still going. But you're spot on. The blueprint of what that team stands for, how they play. That's what winning basketball is. Talent only gets you so far. So they're a top defensive team. They crash the glass. They're unselfish. They play fast. And that was all intentional. Like when we sat down after that 9-win season and said, how do you build this thing back up? There was lots of debate and discussion, and we put a plan together. And the fun part of a plan is executing it, and to see it translate into wins, see the community get behind it. That's what the Suns are going to do now too.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks, I mean, the Mercury seems like to be a destination team now with the new facilities for everybody, the coach, obviously. I mean, leadership with Nick, it's got to be rewarding for you. But you're right. We're ready for the Suns to make that big jump this year.
No, it's going to be a fun year. I can tell you it's been a long offseason. And even from our conversations, though, the last 3 months, you've had guys here every single day. All voluntary. They don't have to be here. But the collective spirit in the gym, there's a connectivity to it. I think you guys talked to number 1 earlier, him signing that big extension, Devin. We want the team to resemble him. One of the all-time greats, became the all-time leading scorer last year. But there's a nastiness to Devin. There's a swagger to him, and he loves the game. He just loves to hoop. We have built a team that's going to resemble that. Dillon Brooks, Jalen Green, our young guys in Kaman and Rasheer. And you add that to it, and you go to being the hunter, not the hunted. Like we have something to prove, but it's going to take every single day doing it. And I think Devin having his team back and guys around him, he's had an unbelievable summer on the court, but also off the court leading. And I think you're going to see it translate on October 22nd.
And maybe not just an all-star season, but another MVP caliber season from Book in the backcourt with our next guest after you, waiting in the wings, Jalen Green. Give us a little thumbnail sketch and scouting report on him and what you have seen from him even over the last month or so.
We're so excited to have that guy here. Jalen, first off, immensely talented. Anything you want to do on the court, he can do. He glides. Like, you and I weren't athletes. This was a big-time athlete. The things he can do, on a trampoline sometimes. So first off, you're just going to see how fast he can play pushing the ball. He can get a shot off whenever he wants. He's got a great step back, and he's still so young. Like, we think there's significantly more to his growth, and him being around Devin's going to be great. We're going to push him defensively to guard. We think he took strides defensively, but he has the whole offensive package, and at the end of the day, it's a make-or-miss sport. You get guys who can get shots off and hit him in tough shots, and look, we both saw him kill us the last couple of years in Houston. I feel like every time he shot it, the ball went in. I'm excited to have that on our team this year.
Yep. All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Game 3, Merc and Minnesota.
Let's go.
Oh, man, I know. You'll be right there.
I'll be right
Front
there.
row, baby.
It's going to be a great year. Look forward to seeing you guys all year.
All right, Josh. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. And now we've got right behind, as advertised, Jalen Green will be joining us. New Suns guard from the Houston Rockets. Man, it's crazy when you make changes like this on the roster and players that you've been watching the last 3 or 4 years. Now for the first time, I see them walk up wearing a Suns jersey with the number 4. I quickly think about Michael Finley. He was one of the number 4 guys. Yeah. Jalen, welcome to Phoenix.
I appreciate it.
I know everybody's very excited to see you. Your athleticism, your connection with Devin Booker. How has that relationship grown to this point already, just after the last month or so of workouts?
It's been good. Me and Book got a chance to connect. We in the gym together, and off the court we got time to kick it. So it's naturally happened, and I think it's gonna be good.
Are you really excited?
Yeah, I am.
Because I know you were a little disappointed. And I was when I got traded too. It was like, okay, my team just gave up on me. But what's happening here with these guys embracing this style of play, playing with a guy like Devin Booker, coming to the Valley of the Sun? What are your thoughts?
Like you said, at first it was disappointing. It wasn't disappointing. It was more shocking, and you kind of get over it, especially with the whole situation that they're excited to have me here, and that's a good feeling.
Well, it's got to be disappointing for you a little bit because you used to average about 35 a game against the Suns, and now you're not going to be able to play against.
Now
the
you can
Suns.
do that against the Rockets. Fine if you do that against the Rockets. We're good with that.
We got a team. We got to pick a team to do that against now. But the good thing is we're going to be in the home arena doing that, and I love shooting in here, so it's gonna be a good one.
Tell us a little bit about your teammate Dillon. Everybody's talking about Dillon the villain, Dillon the this. Tell us about him from the inside, knowing him, teammate perspective.
Teammate perspective, knowing him. He's a great dude. He cares about his people, and he takes his job serious. You know, he takes on that villain role. He takes it very serious about locking in and going against the best player on the floor each night. You can learn from him, especially with like film and stuff like that. He helps you break it down and just understand what's to come. So I picked up on a lot of good habits from him over the years, and just that mentality, how he carries the game every game. And he's done that with Memphis. He's done that with Houston, and he ain't gonna change. He's gonna bring it here too.
Just a couple minutes ago, Devin Booker was talking about the team getting together in northern Arizona, having some Shirley Temples, but kind of like a team gathering, some bonding. I love the smile. What went on there that you can tell us, and how did that draw this team closer?
I mean, it was a team bonding event, and you know, we got young guys on the team. We got rookies on the team. They had ordered some Shirley Temples, and man, Book like, man, let me get a man a drink, you know, a drink, man.
There you go.
And so yeah, me and Zay followed up with some wine, and you know, it was a good you know, night to kick it and, you know, just get to know each other. We went out in Flagstaff, and that was my first time there. That elevation there is crazy.
Yeah, man, I know, hour and a half away, and then all of a sudden you're up in the forest.
Yeah, that's what they was telling me, that you could go from the snow up there to coming back down here to the heat, which is crazy. I ain't never heard of nothing like that before.
Book's got a pretty nice spread.
Yeah, it's smooth up there. It's a good spot. It's very low and quiet out there.
He's big into golf. Are you going to take that up? Is that something you've
I just went golfing.
dabbled in? Yeah.
I just went golfing yesterday. I'm terrible. I'm gonna stick to basketball.
Or just go to Topgolf. Topgolf, they don't keep your score.
Yeah, they don't keep your score.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing if you whiff on one and somebody's watching there, especially when they've had a couple of adult beverages and they're pointing it out.
Yeah, for real.
When everybody asks about how is this new backcourt going to succeed and work together and be productive, how do you answer that question when other people, friends, family, guys that you played with, like you and Book in the backcourt, why will that work?
Well, I always say that I think we're going to complement each other. You know, I'm going to bring my athleticism and, you know, my speed. And, you know, I feel like I'm going to give him a lot of open shots. And, you know, I feel like he's going to do the same for me, too. We both chasing the same goal, trying to win, trying to get back to the playoffs. And, you know, it's easy when you chasing the same goal with somebody. So, we got a good young core, young talent around us. And it's very similar to, you know, what I just came from, just being a bunch of young guys. And as long as we emphasize the main thing, just go out and play harder than everybody, that goes a long way right there. So.
Something you guys did in Houston every night.
Every night, playing harder than everybody defensively. And, you know, that sometimes that was our main focus at night. We playing defense, shots not falling, but y'all not going to score 115, 120. It's going to be, you know, in the 90s or, you know, beginning hundreds. So, you know what I'm saying? So it all worked out.
Well, no, we've talked about it here today. I mean, this team's going to win games with defense. This team's going to win games being tough and being hard-nosed. We have not seen that here in the Valley. And then most importantly for me, who I used to be an offensive guy, they got to pick their poison with you and Devin. Who's going to be that dude? Who's that defender going to be on? You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be, and there's a lot of switching that goes on in the NBA. I know like that, but I'm sure he's going to defer to you at times, and you're going to defer to him at times, depending on matchups out there.
100%. I mean, like you said, that someone gotta pick someone. So, like you said, it's going to be a good fit. I think we're going to complement each other.
Final question: do you keep receipts? Are you keeping track of those detractors? Whether it be your game or the expectations, the lower expectations for the Suns in terms of win totals. I mean, there's a lot of discussion out there, a lot of different opinions. Is that something you follow and you can't wait at the end of the season to go, yeah, I remember this is what you guys said?
Always. You always got to keep receipts. You know, that fuels the fire, and that's a little, you know, inside goal, fight, whatever you want to call it, you know, just to battle against something and keep that in the back of your head. So I always keep receipts about everything.
And I think when I saw you in Vegas, too, you were behind the camera. Somebody else was being interviewed, and you were kind of knocking something off. It was like there was a chip on your shoulder. I think that's what the message was, right?
Yeah, for sure. There's a big chip. And, you know, we're gonna handle business this year.
I love it, man. I love all of that and the smile on your face. Welcome to Phoenix.
I appreciate it.
All right, your former teammate is up next. So go ahead and hand the headset over to Dillon Brooks. Good to meet you. This is so much fun. It's just bring them in one after the other. Oh man, Dill, before we get started, Yeah. One of my first memories of you, again, because you played in the Pac-10, I don't know how many were in the Pac-12 then.
Yeah.
But Bobby Hurley was on the radio, and this was going into your draft, your NBA draft. And he was being interviewed, I think, on the radio here, and they asked about Dillon Brooks. I'll never forget this because it just stuck with me. He goes, as a coach, as a teammate, this is a guy you want to draft. This is a guy you want on your team. And that's coming from Bobby Hurley, who obviously a very aggressive, confident player, coach. So now years later, here you are back in Phoenix and a member of the Suns after the trade. What were your initial emotions when you found out you were coming here to Phoenix and then being a teammate of Devin Booker as you guys have had your battles over the years?
It was mixed feelings. You know, I was sad because I'm leaving a great team that, you know, me and Fred helped build. In Houston Rockets. Was planning on, you know, going back and trying to, you know, get better and build my role out more and more and more. And then, you know, once the trade happened, I guess, you know, I was sad and happy. I was happy that I can be able to, you know, somebody wanted me, you know, and be able to, you know, change an organization, a culture. And they think that I can do that and seen it done before. So I was happy that, you know, the sense of confidence that they have in me, and it comes with a lot. And I was at a spa, so I was real relaxed as well. So, but happy to be here, happy to be a Phoenix Sun and, you know, change this around.
I'll tell you what, the Dillon, the villain, the crazed look, I mean, when I played in the league, there were guys like you. Well, maybe not quite. I mean, like you, but not. You take it to a level sometimes where you just go out there and you just stand there and look at people. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, do you plan on this? Is this part of you? Okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And you go out there and do it.
Yeah. I watched a lot of boxing growing up. Mike Tyson, especially my dad loved Mike Tyson, and the thing that he would say is, you know, once you're head-to-head with somebody and you just stare them in their eyes and they look away first, you know you have them, you know that they're trying to look away, they're weaker or whatever the case may be is. So, you know, that's why I stand there and stare at the opposite side, and I hope every single time it's the opposite side.
Well, it's
and please don't do that to the broadcasters.
I hope I've never looked away before, but I may look away now. But what I'm most impressed with, Dillon, is not only you have that tough mindset, all of that. Your three-point field goal percentage is over 40% now. People don't really acknowledge that as much. You're a threat out there, and you'll get open shots with Jalen and with Devin out there on the floor.
For sure. Those guys are downhill attackers. Get a lot of attention on the offensive end or for their defense. So I'll be getting a lot of shots on that high quad, or, you know, when we slide and get to that corner, I'll be getting a lot of shots. And one of my goals is I want to get more three-pointers. I want to, you know, it's like 39 point something. I want to be actually a 40, you know, and be able to be on scouting reports where guys, you know, they got to run me off the line, and that brings me to what
fun stuff.
Exactly what I grew up on was all in the mid-range and finishing at the rim and giving Mark, Nick, and Man some touch for a dunk.
Man, I like that. Come on, Malawatch. That's what his nickname was. Man. Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
yeah.
He's been up on a mountain for a while, so I got to kind of keep him up to date with some of the jargon. So Ryan Dunn was asked about some of the workouts, pickup games, going into practice, and he said, how are things going to be different with a Dillon Brooks type of player around? He goes, it's going to be feisty. There may be fights. Like, bringing that level, is there like a line you need to draw, or is that just something that, again, hey, if you want to set this new culture, this new identity, you want this aggression, what kind of a formula do you follow, or is there actually a formula for that?
The formula that I always worked with is you always go first before you show it all, where you gain like a human connection with somebody, you know. So like I met the guys, you know, we all ate, we all went to Flagstaff, you know, I got to meet them at a human level, you know, they get to know me at a human level, not this villain, crazy guy who goes out there and tries to roughhouse everybody. And then when we get on the court, between those lines, that's when it comes out. And then they realize, like, okay, he's a normal human being, but when he gets on the court, he changes his whole persona. And for me, like, that's what I want to teach to these guys, the rookies and all this, is like, you can be yourself, when you're, off the court. But when you're on the court, you got to home in everything and just be so locked in. And it'll bring out everything that you worked on in the summer, everything that you wanted to do in the season, and then ultimately will make you confident into going against these guys that are supposed to be all-stars and scorers and all this stuff. And you're going to want to challenge yourself to be like this stopper or this scorer or the best shooter or whatever it is once you find yourself. And that's just me wanting to get it out of you.
Man, I got a feeling we're going to see a different edge with Ryan Dunn this season, too.
Oh, yeah.
He's quite a defensive player already, but
yeah.
then you add a little bit more aggression and that Mike Tyson look. That's going to be haunting me, I think, for a while. Like, I want to make sure all of our interviews are done in the spa. No, man, it's great to get to know you, too, because, again, if there's one thing you'd like to change about your perception then to maybe, or let the fans here in Phoenix know something about Dillon?
I'm gonna be in the community a lot with aspiring basketball players, and then in different areas like impoverished areas in Phoenix, and just giving back. But I don't want to change anything about myself. I want to be the villain. I want to be the guy who every time I come on the floor, you're thinking about, like, what is he gonna do next? Because at the end of the day, when I'm at least got a little bit of real estate on the mind, I can grow the real estate farther and farther. So,
man,
they're always looking over their shoulder.
We could do an hour show. Man, I could do an hour show with you.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to talk to one of your former teammates, so we're going to hear from him, Grayson Allen, who's at the podium, and he's going to join us as well. But man, really time well spent for us, for the fans to get to know you. And can't wait to see you on the court.
Appreciate
this season.
Can't wait.
All right, Dillon, thanks so much. Great to meet you, man.
Great meeting you.
All right, let's hear from Grayson.
All right, we'll start here on the left side with Steven.
What's going on, Grayson? Steven Gardner, PHNX Sports. Last season, both for you as an individual player and with Jordan Ott's former team, there was a lot of guard screens and playing with angles and flipping matchups and things like that. Is that something that's going to be a continued part of your role with this team? And how do you kind of add more to that kind of baseline that you've established in being an additional screener?
Yeah, I think it'll be huge for our team. We've talked about it a good bit with Coach Ott, and then obviously with Book and Jalen doing a lot of the handling for our team. But any actions that us three can get into up top, with its anyone being the handler, slip out, or small rolls even. When you have someone like Jalen on our team this year, which I think is unique, we didn't really have anyone as explosive or athletic getting downhill as him last year. I think that when you have such a downhill threat off those small actions too, they become even more effective, especially for the shooters too. So I think it's something we'll be doing a lot, and you just got to get really good at it with messing up the timing, when to screen, when to slip out, all that stuff. Just get really good at the details of it.
Go to Eric.
Hey, Grayson. Eric Ruby, PHNX Sports. We've heard a couple stories from guys about talking with Coach Ott so far this summer and how it's just you're having a random conversation. All of a sudden, he's talking about a play that happened over in EuroLeague. Have you had any interaction like that with him?
Nothing as crazy as that, no. He is just one of those guys, though, that, in your first conversation you have with him, you can tell he's got a very smart basketball mind. And, even when we're playing pickup or anything we do in practice, like you mentioned one play that happened in pickup, and he knows exactly what you're talking about, even though he's not out there coaching it. So he's very smart, obviously, and he pays attention to the details of the game, and
you pick on that very quickly when you talk to him.
We'll go back to Greg.
Back here with Mark Williams, the new Suns center, coming over from Charlotte. And I guess you can't shake Nick Richards. We were just talking about that. You guys spent 2.5 seasons together. But, I mean, for you, Mark, it's got to be nice to have a familiar face as you come to a new team, a new city. Has he helped with that transition?
Yeah, definitely. It always makes your life easier when you know somebody. But yeah, he can't get rid of me.
Well, I don't. Is it genuine? Because now he lost his spot again. You know, do I really have to go act like I like him when he's taking my job from me once again? You know,
You guys can split minutes. I'm sure you did that before, and especially with the new coach, because it sounds like the intensity of not just practices but in game, the pressure that he wants to apply defensively, and then on the rim. TC's been talking so much too about like offensive rebounding, which was kind of non-existent the past couple of years.
Yeah. I would just say, playing with that aggression, that force on both sides of the ball. But yeah, no, it's been great. Coach Ott's been great. Obviously, like I said earlier, Nick being around has been helpful too. So I'm really excited for the year.
Well, I hope, and Tom had mentioned there, our offensive rebounding, our shot blocking has not been good at all, and that's like down here.
Yeah.
What we're expecting out of you. Is that something you take pride in? Is when that shot goes up, and with all the 3-pointers being launched these days, there's going to be some rebounds. There's going to be a bunch of rebounds. Going and getting those offensive rebounds, because that's a backbreaker for a team.
Yeah, definitely. Not allowing those extra possessions, and then obviously when we're on offense, getting some of those extra possessions go a long way. I averaged over 10 last year. I want to continue that trend, average even more this year. So being a force around the rim.
So you've been dedicating your time to strength and conditioning during this off season. What factors play into that, and what are kind of your hopes in terms of your physical well-being moving into the season and going through a full 82-game schedule?
Yeah, I think just putting my body in the best position to endure a whole season. Obviously, last year I was out the first quarter of the season with my foot. So now really just having a full summer, really preparing my body for that, especially my lower body, my conditioning, doing all those things to put myself in the best position to endure the season. So I'm really excited for that. I feel like the staff's done a great job with me putting a great plan in place and just being ready.
So is it all the way from what you eat, body, body mass, body weight? I mean, is there, the weight you're at, you look great. Is that the weight you kind of want to stay at?
Yeah, for sure. Not being heavy, per se, but being strong. I feel like I've gained, a lot of strength, my core, my lower half, upper body, really everything. But at the same time, being mobile, being fluid, still being able to have that quick twitch around the rim.
Got it.
All those sort of things.
We like dunks too.
Yeah, love dunks.
You see plenty of those. It's crazy too because you've been in the NBA for 4 seasons.
I'm going
I
in my
think.
4th
I know,
year.
but you and Jalen are still both 23 years of age.
Yeah, crazy.
Do you feel like it's a fresh start for not just yourself but Jalen as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think both of us, him obviously leaving Houston, they had a great year last year. Him coming here, having something to prove, me having something to prove as well. Showing I'm able, to be out on the floor and being that force on both sides of the ball for a full season. I think really the whole team, guys that have been traded here, all are trying to prove that, they belong. They're, those caliber of guys. So I think, we're going to be better than a lot of people think.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be exciting to have you to start the season, have a rebounder out there who's going to go out and get, 10 or 15 of these things every single game, block some shots. So we're excited to have you, big fella.
Yes,
It's been good to see you at the Mercury games. Your older sister Elizabeth playing in Chicago, so great stuff. We're going to see plenty of you, and also I'm sure you're glad you have a fellow Dookie on the roster because he's coming up next right behind you, Grayson Allen. So maybe we'll hear some more secrets about Mark Williams from the Blue Devil. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead and just hand that off to the Devil, to the Blue Devil. Mark Williams joining us, and now Grayson Allen. The chiseled Grayson Allen.
I was going to say.
Dang, man, these guys are so.
What's the deal, man?
How about that?
Look at you. Woo.
Good.
There's no more baby Nurk this year.
Oh, man. I'm not sure he really appreciated that last year, but man, you look in great shape. What was the focus of training this past summer?
A lot of conditioning this summer. Yeah, I had a conversation early in the summer with BG, Brian Gregory, about the way the NBA is just rapidly changing, and that I feel like conditioning is almost turning into one of the most important skills you can have out there on the court with how, like, people are asking guys to pick up full, play fast, change ends quick, crash the offensive glass, make multiple movements and cuts offensively, and to do all that and to be effective, like, you got to be in great shape. So
yeah, when do you take a breath? I used to do that on the defensive end.
and still have the feathery 3-point touch, which you have, right? That's a big part of it.
You got to be able to do a lot out there.
So how is it? It's got to be. I mean, the difference right now going into this, what it is now and what it was even going into last season.
Just the team in general.
Well, just the philosophy. Okay, I mean, it seems to me that the attention to detail right now, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, making sure everything is in line and ready for you guys to go out there and perform at your best.
Yeah, I think that just with the group that we have, like, that's what you have to do to be successful. If we're going to win games, it's going to come down to, are we playing just as hard or harder than the other team? Are we getting extra possessions? Are we paying attention to the details? Are rotations sharp? Are we making sure we get good offensive possessions most of the time down the court? Like, there is no taking possessions for granted and trying to trust a great shot maker to make a shot and bail you out. Like, we gotta create wins for ourselves this year, and I think that's the focus. And you talk to Coach Ott for a second, and you can tell he's got a great basketball mind.
Yeah.
And so
he's focused, right?
Yeah,
you can see that in his eyes.
He's locked in. He's already got us going. He can probably remember every play that happened in pickup this summer.
Wow. He's that kind of a savant. So 3 rookies, and you got Dillon and Jalen coming in, and the fellow Dookie, Mark Williams. I want to ask you about Mark, because obviously you're still very well connected to the Duke program and probably followed his progress. Tell us about Mark and what he can add to this team. He was talking about working on his strength and conditioning and obviously his health this season. But when in shape, when healthy, how big of an impact? Because in talking to some of the members of the front office, they think he can be a real star, one of the top 5 centers in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he's just from playing against him, like, he's a great rim protector. And if it's not blocking shots, it's altering shots. He's one of those guys you can kind of – he allows you to pressure up onto the ball. Like, your defense can get a lot more aggressive when you have a guy like that behind you, because it's not – if they're shooting a contested layup against Mark, it's not a good shot for their offense. So if we can pressure up teams and force them into that, that's good for us. And offensively, having a guy like that who's a lob threat, a great finisher at the rim, that adds another a level to any pick-and-roll offense, or when we get into multiple driving kicks. Like, if you get paint touches – to have a guy you can just throw it up there, let him go get it and finish it.
He talked about his own quick twitch muscles around the rim, and seeing him and watching him, he catches and finishes quick.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's big. And so, I mean, that's got to be a good option for you, because you're just like, okay, here's an assist. Just throw it to the big guy inside of 5 feet, and he's going to throw it down on somebody.
It makes it a much easier read in the paint when you're just waiting for their center to step up a little bit, and then you can throw it up or drop it off to him, and it's 2 points.
What was your summer highlight with Emsley, Morgan, the Pups, getting out of town, or where? Yeah.
We took 3 main trips this summer. I think the favorite for everyone was Hawaii, and I think we actually had the dogs out in Hawaii too, which was really cool.
Oh wow.
But that was Emsley finally started to play in the sand and not try to eat it. So I think
that was a big day.
That's what I was looking for.
Don't eat it. No, don't eat it.
Yeah, she had a lot more fun in Hawaii than other beaches she's been to.
That's great,
fun.
man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are just an awesome girl dad.
Thank you.
We're always going to be bringing up Emsley because she was born while you've been here with us, and to see that progression as player, dad, husband, it's really fun to watch. And looking forward to the season. Appreciate you as
Thanks,
always.
Guys.
You look great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love all the demands that, talking to Brian Gregory, we want you to, pick up full court. We want you to help seal the paint. As Ryan Dunn joins us now, this guy has been, there was no off season. There was no off season for you. I mean, you and Oso were everywhere.
I mean, you
in
talk
the
about
city and
I thought Devin Booker was the face of the franchise. Ryan Dunn is like every single thing is the new twins. Also
adopting puppies.
No,
not adopting yourself, but helping others
Helping
adopt.
others,
I know,
yeah.
that was great. What kind of a whirlwind was this? And how does that feel to be so embraced by the city, by this team, as almost like spokespersons for the team?
I mean, it's great. I think the opportunity that me and also had going to China, going to Macau, going to see it, and being there for a couple of weeks was great. Coming back and then having to go straight from there to Vegas to play,
it's tough.
leading that team, and then coming back and being here and doing a bunch of appearances and speaking and working out, it's great. So just the love that we and him get from the city is amazing, and we obviously love it here and want to start our career here. So it's been great.
And now you guys got to fly back.
Fly back in like 2 weeks, so get ready for that.
What's the most difficult part? I have not been to China or Japan, and I know, what is it, 17 hours?
15-hour flight.
15 hours?
But it's not bad if you time it. So like for me, like I have like 3 or 4 movies to line up with.
Gotcha.
And then I'll sleep for 10, and then by the time you wake up, you're basically gonna start landing.
Okay.
So just trying to figure out ways to pass the time is a big thing. But once you get there, it's wonderful. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you what. Obviously, you took some batting practice.
And fielding.
And
playing shortstop.
And also made fun of him for going full speed. And you're like, I'm on a major league field.
Wait a second.
Why would I not go full speed?
What do you think? Yeah, I pick up my iPad and watch the news.
He's been on the mound. We've been joking about it. He's been
there was
out
a
of
headline on
civilization.
ESPN. It was just it was good. So it was fun out there.
It was great. I think also in calling through the first pitch, so I want to go support, and about 30 minutes before we got a text that we could take BP, so we went out there. Me growing up being a baseball player was like being a little kid again, and being at shortstop with Marte, and just talking to him, and then being able to hit, and I almost got one out. I thought I was going to get one, but was a little short. But it was great though.
Well, being 6'8" on the field, I mean, the only other guy is Aaron Judge, who's like 6'8", 290 or whatever he is. But I mean, do you feel large out there playing baseball, or do you feel like you could still do this?
I feel like I could still do it. Maybe a little bit larger than before, but no, I feel like I'm just having fun out there.
No, you'd be a first baseman.
Sure.
You couldn't be out there doing the
either,
Marte
or I'll
stuff.
pitch.
Oh, you can throw?
I can throw a little bit.
You're like got a little big unit in you?
I'm more like I can spot it, put it where I need to put it, but I'm not a hot arm, but
not a hot arm.
So that was fun. How have the workouts been, the pickup games? Because you had been quoted as saying, and we asked Dillon Brooks about this, that, I think these practices are going to be pretty heated. There might be fights breaking out kind of a thing. And again, Dillon talked about developing a human relationship with all the players first before bringing some of the massive aggression. But what has changed in terms of that intensity on the court so far?
Yeah, I think the fighting, maybe not, but the intensity is still there.
Yeah.
Kind of what Dillon said, like when we first got here, we all kind of came together and built that camaraderie and, growing off the court, because once you have that trust, then you can do what you got to do on the floor. And once we started playing pickup and, started practices, we're going at each other. And I can say for Dillon, he's kind of like the lead for that. He's going at anybody. He's been cursing me out a little bit sometimes. We've been going back and forth, and not even just him, but like Oso and Royce and all these other guys. We're just going at each other, which is great. It's going to build competitive nature, and that's what we're trying to build here. Just grit and fight. So it's been great. Playing and learning and building relationships on and off the court with these guys.
You're going to have a different edge this year. That's got
and the fans love that. We love that. I love that. I want to talk about that. I mean, when people say there's going to be fights breaking out, and then you say, "Oh no, not a fight," I'm like, that's not a bad thing. The intensity level should be at that, because you want to get better, and that's how you're going to get better by pushing each other, everything as well as you can.
How about Oso? He's put on, about 25 pounds? You guys spent a lot of time together, obviously, not just in the weight room. I know. How is he transformed?
I couldn't leave him this whole summer. I felt terrible being by his side all day. I want to be alone. But, he's been great. From the start of this offseason, he's been putting in so much work, not even just on his body, but on his game. Him getting – look at the
muscles.
He didn't have that his first year. But him working out, he put on a bunch of weight, a bunch of muscle. He put on 20 pounds. And, he's been pushing not only himself, but me in the weight room as well. coming in every day, having a good mindset, and just competing with each other, who can lift the most, ego lifting, and it's been cool. But it's been great, and seeing him improve from year 1 to year 2, not only physically but mentally, his confidence and his mindset. It's gonna be. I'm excited for him going to year 2.
Ego lifting.
Well,
a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if you gain body weight and mass like that when you're lifting, you got to be consuming some groceries because your metabolisms right now are high.
Yeah,
so you got to be eating.
He's been eating. He's been doing that too.
I used to be able to do that.
I got to cut back. So final question from me, Coach Ott. What has he already kind of brought to the table? And we discussed a little bit about, and we don't know exactly what happened last night, but that was the first team dinner. And his message, does he have kind of a mantra or, a motto going into this year? But what you have seen from him so far in his first training camp and first NBA season as a head coach?
Yeah, no, he's been great. I think when he first got here, just the way that he was able to embrace everybody, bring everybody into his office, talk to them, get to know each other, and then kind of just trying to figure out where he sees the offense going and the defensive going, and where can I align or Devin align or also align in his style of play, which has been great. And, working out, it's cool seeing your head coach on the floor with you, like helping, like passing the ball, rebounding, guarding you sometimes, and just giving you tips has been great. And his big thing is just not really, he doesn't have like a mantra or a quote. It's just, just being taking action. Everyone says it, but where he's trying to do it and be different, which is a great thing to have. So just this year, just, not really trying to just talk with your words, but just use your action and just speak how you want to play.
And it sounds like whenever players start to arrive, which is usually fairly early, he's already there and has been there. So
he's been there early and he's been there late. He's been there sometimes at like 9 p.m. just watching film and studying the game. So he's different when it comes to it, but it's going to be great to have him as a coach.
Yeah, we've heard that maybe he's going to remember like every play, every bucket in pickup games.
No,
like
for sure.
No.
He probably will.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much. Thanks for all you did this past offseason and summer, you and
the twins, the new twins.
No.
Yeah, for sure. And have a great second trip back to China. All
appreciate
right,
you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
Ryan. Take care. All right, see you around. And on deck, coming up next, Nick Richards.
Rapid fire.
Ooh. Look, getting his photos. Barry Gossage, I'm sure, getting his Hall of Fame.
Everybody's
There's
coming.
Barry. Look at that. They pull out. It's almost like they heard me.
Everybody's like coming in all ripped and stuff,
Who's been here longer, you or Barry Gossage?
Me?
The cameraman, or
I don't know. I think
Barry's great. Oh, hey,
Barry's
Nick
been
Richards
there.
is here.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good to see you. How was the off season? What was your focus?
Man, I was in market most of the off season, so I got to be a part of this Arizona Heat all summer. But for the focus, man, just trying to get stronger, be in a better situation that we were in last year. For me personally, try to build on what we were doing. Just be more focused. I would just say that overall.
How about 3 7-footers on the team?
Yeah,
I mean, that doesn't happen. And this team is lack. We've talked about it a lot. The rebounding, the offensive rebounding, the rim protection. You three have got to be taking it personal now that, okay, we're going to change this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, for me personally, it didn't really end up the way I wanted it to end up. When I got traded here mid-season, we had the expectations of making the playoffs, and I think that not just me, but everybody else on the team is taking that personally, and we're using that as motivation, to get better individually. Hopefully we can make a playoff push. I know that every single person, every player, and all the guys on the coaching staff has that on their mind.
What was your reaction when the Suns on draft day acquired your former teammate, Mark Williams? You're like, here we go again.
Yeah. I mean, me and Mark are pretty close. We don't. We always have a good time whenever we're around each other. He's going to be a great addition to the team. He's going to be something special. Hopefully, he's able to play every single game this year.
What makes him special? What makes him stand out to you?
I mean, for me, the one attribute of his game that a lot of people, well, for me that I find really amazing is his hands. He has really good hands around him. LaMelo, he has these. Whenever we were in Charlotte, LaMelo has these, fancy passes, but Mark was always able to catch every single one of them. So I would say Mark's hands is probably his strongest attribute.
So when you're out there on the floor against him, is he your friend?
I think that smile says it all.
I would say it's healthy competition between both of us.
You got to be competitive, and they can be your best friend, but you got to make him better. He's got to make you better, and that's going to make the team better.
Oh, for sure. We've been on the same team together for 3 years, so it's like, we know what it is at the end of the day. We're boys off the floor no matter what. We hang out together. We grab dinner together. But, we use the time that we're on the court together, not only to compete, but to also make each other better.
I think there's a big curiosity factor when it comes to Kaman Malawach. I mean, when you're taking number 10 overall in the first round, the hopes, the expectations are obviously there, but then you have to kind of step back maybe a little bit when he's 18, just turning 19 years of age. What has impressed you most about Kaman so far, and what is his ceiling?
His energy, man. Like, it could be the fact that he's just so young, but the fact that he comes in every single day to the gym with a smile on his face, the positive energy, he's getting ready to work every single day, it's contagious. And, I think that him, for every single rookie, they go through the little slump at some point in the season. It happens to every single rookie. So the fact that I know that he's going to be that guy to overcome that, and he's going to be a guy that he's going to stay the same no matter what.
That's crazy.
It's actually going to be.
I was not smiling going to practice. I did not smile going to practice.
Nah,
I was like, I had to get up, I had to go. He was smiling.
Nah, he's smiling ear to ear.
What a great attitude.
Well, how does that work too? Because he is such a sweet young kid. I mean, he came up and introduced himself to all of us, and so then as a veteran, I mean, you want to instill some toughness in him. You want to rough him up a little bit, right, to get him ready for the NBA. But how do you also kind of temper that with who he is as a human being?
Nah, he already has that. He already has that toughness. Okay. I mean, for me, I was surprised when we played 5-on-5 for the first time together. He has like a little bit of an edge to him. He wasn't. We were going at it while we were playing 5-on-5, and he wasn't really backing down. Whether he was making mistakes, whether he was messing up, he was ready to take on the challenge, no matter who was in front of him, no matter who was guarding him, no matter who he was guarding. He was ready to take on that challenge.
It's awesome,
man. The Suns are definitely deep and talented at the center position.
Can you imagine those 2 or 3 going to a restaurant together?
Get your order in early, too, by the way. Nick, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Great to have you back this season. Looking forward to it. All right, appreciate you. Yep. Have a good one. All right, TC, that's going to do it.
That's it?
I know. So we usually do TC's top 5.
Yeah.
You got top 2 there. I mean, I'm going to give you top 2 interviews that you enjoyed the most. I mean, I'm probably going with those 2 right now. I mean, Dillon Brooks,
I tell you what,
he blew me away.
Yeah, it was impressive. It really was, all the way from Mike Tyson, learned to stare at
right?
and if they looked away.
Oh, my goodness.
But when Devin Booker said, I might have his back a little bit, too. I mean, Book likes having that chip. Book likes being, a person you can't push around or take advantage of. And so he's going to be, like Book said, it'll be a team effort on that, on the toughness side.
Yeah. All right. One final takeaway for you after the conversations with Mat Ishbia and Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott and Bartelstein and all the players as you move into the 25-26 season. I mean, for me, I mentioned breath of fresh air. I mean, it really is. It's what the fans needed. The joy was gone last year. Everybody's talked about that. The effort wasn't there. And it's just with the new faces that have come in here and legitimate personalities, good people, genuine people.
Yeah, absolutely. And their condition. I mean, their arms, their shape. They look like they're in tremendous shape. But Coach Ott, I mean, he's got that look in his eyes like he's thinking ahead of you right now. And I love that about him, that he's going to get the most out of these guys in a lot of different ways and think outside that coaching box. I mean, Mat Ishbia said the coaches they had before were wanting to do it the way they had done it before and had success. He's looking to pave a new way forward. And I think the NBA has kind of gone that way.
Yep. Well, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes from good, better, best. Never let it rest. That was the Ben Johnson call. So it's a new coach, new regime, new players, and we'll be back at it. First preseason game.
I've missed you so much.
No, you haven't. You never return my texts. You never do. And then we find out you've got internet at the cabin, and you're like,
yeah, we put a little Starlink in up there last year.
You're my Starlink. You're my link to stardom. Appreciate it. And like I said, the legend is back. Steve Nash, senior advisor. I'll end where we began.